Yo. We are back again. Second of a back-to-back. After one of the most frustrating losses of the season. One of the most frustrating stretches of this tumultuous campaign. Sixers go down in miserable fashion last night. They're back again. Of course, with some drama. Wouldn't be the Sixers without drama. See what they can do, man. See if they can bounce back. At least we get to watch the young guys. The young guys, right? Yeah. Let's have some fun, man. You got to sink yourself into the madness. That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. You got to indulge. You got to embark. You got to really dive into the chaos in order to keep watching this team and keep trying to focus on what is ahead, as it definitely feels like a little bit of despair in the scope. But at least we get to watch the young guys. Tankathon tonight. The race for the tank, the race for that spot. We'll talk about it all, man. Welcome in. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tapping in from, and welcome in officially to Philly Take with RB. This is the Sixers Game Day live show presented by our friends at National University and as always powered by BetUS. We have the 20 and 33 Philadelphia 76ers taking on the 19 and 34 Brooklyn Nets. This is the number one Sixers Game Day live show. We give you the pregame, live game, post-game coverage, including our staple play-by-play and reactions, and our analysis as it all goes down. Of course, we'll take your phone calls after the game if you so dare to indulge in the conversation and join in on that. So be sure to join the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. You know the drill. Do me one favor, man. Go down below, exit out of the live chat, hit the like button, and hit that subscribe button if you want to become a part of the family, man. Hit that sub button if you want to join in on the live chat and become a part of the family by hitting that join button down below. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Philly Take with RB. Follow me on Twitter at RB Philly Take. Connect with me everywhere behind the scenes. Shout out to all the great members in the chat. And if you want to become a member and get those emojis in the chat, those loyalty badges, get your comments read out and highlighted and all that stuff, and you want to get shouted out in the chat, go ahead and hit that join button down below. All right, man, time to kick things off here on Sixers pregame live. Shout out to my dude Banj in the chat. Philly Shad, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Unlike some of the Sixers, I show up back-to-back nights. Now, I can't say that this game got me out of bed this morning, but we're here. And we'll be here all night with the pregame show, the live game show, and the postgame show. If you were here last night, you know how I feel about this team, about that loss. I thought it was absolutely inexcusable. Sixers have now lost 4 in a row. I think it's 6 out of 7. And the Brooklyn Nets have won their last 2 games. If you look at the NBA standings right now, the Sixers are currently number 7 in terms of tankathon. The Nets are right ahead of them. So I'm going to leave the question up to you guys and gals. Let me know in the comments right now. Do you think the Sixers should try to win this game? Do you think the Sixers should try to win this game or not? Guess it depends on how you feel about their season, where they're at. I've had some pretty strong thoughts, especially after the last couple games. But there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sitting up here talking about it. The show goes on, the coverage goes on, and I will try my best to cover this team every single day, despite what happens. So we'll see what happens, man. But if the Sixers lose tonight, they will be tied with the Brooklyn Nets for the 6th worst record, which means they would be at least probability-wise, right? They got the ping pong balls. They'd be around that 50% mark on getting their top 6 pick and trying to climb into that top 6. So you give me your thoughts. I don't know how much more embarrassing it can get in terms of a win or loss perspective. I will tell you, I am excited to see the Young Guns tonight because what do you know, as I predicted last night on the postgame show. By the way, RB's been on a streak, man. RB's been on a streak. Last night I almost predicted the score correctly. Almost predicted a lot correctly. Told you exactly how the game was going to go. And I did tell you on the postgame show that Joel Embiid would not play tonight. Joel Embiid out with left knee injury management. And then about an hour ago, just to kind of pour it on a little bit more, we get the update that Tyrese Maxey is dealing with a knee contusion. We saw him limping around in the first quarter last night. So now Tyrese Maxey's out in this game, which I definitely think hurts the team a lot. And that means it'll be Paul George and the Young Guns to see if they can come out here and try to win a basketball game. But Tyrese Maxey, as Nick Nurse said last night, dealing with something. I don't know if he got banged up on the floor or in practice. I don't know, man. But yeah, Tyrese Maxey's out. Joel Embiid is out. And then for the Brooklyn Nets, we know 2-5 finally got traded. So no Ben Simmons. That actually hurts the Sixers, in my opinion. Because having that guy on the floor, it's like playing 5-on-4. But Cam Thomas is out. Noah Clowney's out. Bojan Bogdanovic out. And Nick Claxton is questionable. However, we just got the starting 5. And Nick Claxton will be in for the Brooklyn Nets. It'll be D'Angelo Russell, Keon Johnson, Cam Johnson, who's back. He didn't play in the last matchup. Zaire Williams and Nicholas Claxton. And for the Sixers, it'll be Jared Butler, Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, Paul George, and Gershon Yabusele. Will Nick Nurse play the young guys like Ricky Council and Dembona tonight? Probably. And they're probably going to play pretty good. So let's talk about this game. I don't want to talk about leading score and all that. All right. I want to go to how we feel about this game. All right. And I'll take it to BetUS. Shout out to BetUS. Partner with us all season long right here on Philly Take with RB. Now, don't take a look at this, right? It is the odd of the day presented by BetUS. But this was earlier this morning. And one thing I've learned from prepping for these games all season long is that the initial odd spread and the initial injury report will not be the same 5 hours later. So at the beginning of the day, Sixers were a 3-point favorite, slightly favored over the tanking Nets. Then goes down Joel Embiid, and then Tyrese Maxey's out. So they put Maxey on the odds graphic. He's not even playing. The hardest part about prepping for these games is no longer looking at stats, season statistics, matchups. It is who is going to play and who's not going to play. So now the Sixers are actually a slight underdog in this game by 2 points. So the Nets are favorited. And I ask you all out there in the chat, do you think the Sixers can win this game? It is the odd of the day presented by BetUS. Go to betus.com. Go sign up. Use the code YouTube150. Get a 150% deposit match bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Shout out to BetUS. I told you guys last night, if you would have bet with me, you would have won. I said, don't take the Sixers -9 spread. That's absolutely bonkers. I said the Raptors would absolutely keep it within 9. They ended up winning the game. So once again, should you go out there and bet Sixers? I mean, it's so unpredictable. I don't feel good about this game with Tyrese Maxey being out. If Tyrese Maxey was in and Paul George was out and the rest of the young guys were in, I'd feel better. Do I think Quentin Grimes and Jared Butler can build on what they did last night? Absolutely. But is it crazy for me to say right here on February 12th, as we are at game number 54 of the season, is it crazy for me to say that I actually think the Nets might have a better roster tonight, just in tonight's game? I know the Nets are banged up too. It's very close. It's very close, and I can't believe I'm saying that with Paul George on the floor. But I feel like the Nets might have the better team tonight. I feel like it's a pick 'em. It's even. So if I was you, I think I feel a little bit confident with the Brooklyn Nets. That's how crazy it is, man. Out of the day, presented by BetUS. Go to betus.com, use code YouTube150, and get a 150% deposit match bonus on your first deposit. So I will ask you guys in the chat, and I'll read out some of your comments, but who do you think is going to win tonight? Who do you think is going to win tonight? Because again, if I go back to what I just said, all right, drop your final score prediction in the chat. If I go back to what I just said, months ago, I'd say, well, Paul George is going to ball out, right? He'll drop 30, we'll be fine. I am not convinced that Paul George can drop 25 points. Even without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, I am not convinced that Paul George can drop 25 points. He had a comment last night. I didn't get to make a video about it today. He said it's a challenge trying to learn how to play with Joel Embiid. But yet when we signed Paul George on his podcast, he said it was the perfect fit. It was like the hallelujah. I've never played with a center like this. Things are going to mesh so easily. I'm not here to pick on Paul George. All I'm saying is the way he looks right now, slow, unathletic, unable to create by himself. I don't know if Paul George is going to drop 33 tonight or if he's going to drop 14. And I think the fact that Tyrese Maxey's out, I'm scared of Cam Johnson tonight. I am scared of Cam Johnson tonight. If Cam Johnson wasn't playing, I'd feel better, but he is an absolute hooper. He was once the biggest trade deadline target a couple months ago. Nets decided to keep him. They're going to have $1 million of cap space, 50 million plus, I don't even know how much, but yeah, I think Cam Johnson is going to torch the Sixers tonight. I know I didn't ask for the leading point predictions, but I think Cam Johnson is going to hoop tonight. Now, Jared Butler and Quentin Grimes, they had a really good game last night, both of them. They combined for 29 points off the bench. I'm excited to see Jared Butler and Quentin Grimes, but without Tyrese Maxey, I think it's a little bit interesting. So anyway, and then the question is, should the Sixers even try to win this game, as they are one game ahead of the Brooklyn Nets right now? If I look at the standings, the Sixers are number 11. They're 23 games out, and the Nets are 24 games out, one game behind the Sixers. So should the Sixers try to even win this game, or should they be in full tank mode? That is the question of the day. So, with all that being said, my final score prediction. Drop your final score predictions in the comments right now. And I hope this is not a cardiac game. Last night, as I told you it was going to happen, it was a cardiac game, and it took a lot of energy out of me. I ranted. I just let it all out. And now we have another game tonight. So, this is the last game before the All-Star break. I'm sure these guys will enjoy a nice stretch off, but no All-Stars for the Sixers. I'll tell you what, I will enjoy a nice stretch off. I mean, we'll have videos out and stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say I appreciate you all as well. It's very difficult to talk about this team right now, not just because they're bad. My time covering the team so far, it's not like they've had a bad season, but they've also never had, even with all their drama, a season like this. It's almost impossible to give you anything new about this team because we don't see them play. So we'll talk about it. Jordy Fernandez has the Nets playing hard every night, even though they're not good. So I am going to take the Brooklyn Nets in a tight game, and I think the Brooklyn Nets win it 110-106. Maybe I'm just here doing reverse psychology. Maybe I just want the Sixers to maybe win a game, so I'm going to pick against them. Or maybe I just feel like the Brooklyn Nets are actually the better team tonight, which is absurd for me to think. But let me ask you guys this in the chat. And again, drop your final score predictions. Are you confident that Paul George is going to take over tonight? Yes or no? Matter of fact, I think the Sixers could actually play better with the young guys tonight. There were some people that tweeted out yesterday, like some of the national reporters, and they were like, wait, what? The Sixers are playing worse with Joel Embiid and Paul George on the floor? It makes no sense. And I replied to that tweet and I said, see, this has been happening all year, but people aren't watching. The Sixers have looked better with their young players on the floor, and tonight we're going to get to see those guys again because Nick Nurse is forced to play them. But it shouldn't be that way. Like, you should have kept playing these young guys when you were building up momentum. And then bringing Joel Embiid back, you're playing with a completely different roster, like a different style of play, all that and more. Now, Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon are out as well. So it's Embiid, Maxey, Gordon, and Lowry. So we will see a lot of the young guys tonight, so I am confident in that. So maybe they actually will win because their young guys are playing, but just to piss them off so they can play better, I'm going to pick the Brooklyn Nets 110-106. And I think if they lose, it might actually be a good thing so that they can crawl into that top 6. And if they win, maybe we'll see a huge showing from Jared Butler, Quentin Grimes, and some of these other young guys. Maybe a Dembona will play his way into the rotation, even though he should have been in it the whole time. So anyway, 150 people in here. Thank you all for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Every game all season long, pregame, live game, and postgame. My final score prediction, 110-106. Let's go to the chat. BLSG channel member says Nets cardiac game, 109-107. Freddie says 120-95 Nets. C Block says they should shut Joel Embiid down. Ryan Rose says 109-104 Nets. It's crazy. We got Sixer faithful in here picking the Nets because that's how, unconfident they are in this team. Even earlier in the season, we had Sixer faithful banking on the Sixers. And I think we've been scarred as a fan base. Like I said, I've never seen a team have this much emotional, just momentum swing. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's been 4 times this year where we have gone from high on emotions to as low as we can be. It's unbelievable. Ego, what's up, bro? Says, I'm going to say 113-109 Brooklyn. Rachel Tice, what's up, Rachel? Says, I have zero confidence in Paul George. Robert Downs, new channel member. Thanks for joining the membership. Says, PG's not the answer. Ego says, no, it makes plenty of sense. The young guys are playing Pacers-style basketball, running and gunning. Pete says, love it when the young guys play. Ban says, yo, RB, I have a theory. Every year the Sixers are good in the regular season, suck in the playoffs. So what if it's reversed? We get the 10-8 seed and we make a deep playoff run. Just a theory. What are your thoughts? Yeah, no. Not happening, bro. Sorry. What Daryl Morey say? He said, you got to squint. You got to squint as hard as you can. Maybe we'll win the championship. Or maybe we'll just be dreaming. Maybe. Let's see. We got Ron Yo from the Philippines. What's up, bro? Last ear says Sixers win 110-102. Ego says, RB, be honest. Do you want them to win this game? Honestly, no. No, I don't. Because if the Sixers lose, then they're tied with the Nets and they get into that top 6 record-wise. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Like, I'm going to keep doing this show as I always do. Drop the videos and, give a voice for the fans. But if the Sixers end up with a top 6 pick, I've been watching some of these draft prospects. I got to watch more, but some of these kids are really good this year. So if the Sixers get a top 6 pick, right now they have no first round pick. If they get a top 6, then they have Maxey, McCain, Edwards, Grimes, Butler, Yabu. I think that's a pretty good young core to start moving forward with. I'm being honest with you, man. This team has literally raised me up and broken me 4 times this season. Now I expect it. So I'm not getting overhyped anymore. I was actually really hyped up watching the young players win 5 out of 7 games. It was so much fun. It was like, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but it was like an injection of new life into this team. It was fun. It was fun watching Ricky Council and a Dembona and, now Quentin Grimes, but all these dudes, man. Justin Edwards, like Edwards was hooping. And now all the momentum gone again. Gone. So, anyway, that's where I'm at. TJ Scott, what's up, bro? I don't know how you're still doing these, man. Respect to you. Well, when you have a job, right, and you don't feel like going to work, do you tell your boss, no, I'm not going to work? RB's here no matter what, man. Every day. I got you covered. And when things do get better, when things do turn around, it's going to be really nice, you know, knowing that some of these people are here supporting me through these times, you know, through the tough times. That's the thing, man. We talk about the Sixers, we cover them, we do a show, but I'm not, my show, my continuity is not dependent on the Sixers, man. People are here to support me no matter what. So that's something I appreciate. You know, when the Sixers get good again, I'm going to remember, you know, Banj in the chat and Ego and all these guys in here, man, like supporting us. So people still tap in no matter what. All right, man, if you guys have any hot takes or final predictions for this game, let's get it. Drop the beat, man. Let's wake up the neighbors. Let's wake up the neighbors, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Quentin Grimes, Jared Butler, Kelly Oubre, Yabusele, Paul George, D'Angelo Russell, Keon Johnson, Cam Johnson, Zaire Williams, and Nicholas Claxton. Those are the fives. We are here at the Barclays Center. There's like 4 people in attendance, but we got people here in the chat, man. Sixers rocking the white unis, Brooklyn rocking the black unis. Let's see. Rachel says, we love you, RB. Love your content so much. Rachel, we love you too, man. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all being in here. Rachel, Tice, Ego, Rob, Pete, all you guys that have been in here. I love you guys too, man. We will keep it going no matter what. If you guys have been in the Philly area, you're feeling the buzz of the Eagles Super Bowl right now. We will get that one day. We will. We will. Will David Roddy play tonight? He's in the G League, man. He's with the Blue Coats. He's with the Blue Coats. Also, guys, real quick, check out the merch store, man. Check out the merch store. Use code PhillyTake20. Get 20% off any merch for the next couple days. Final promo for the merch, man. I got the hoodie on right now. I got the beanie. I was rocking this thing today. I was shoveling snow. Shout out to the neighbors, man. The neighbors actually shoveled some of the snow. W for the neighbors in the chat. They actually were nice for once. I think we kind of established our precedent over the neighbors. I think they kind of fear us at this point, so they won't mess with us anymore, but we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to the neighbors, man. W in the chat for the neighbors. They did shovel some of the snow. I give them credit for that. All right, here we go, man. We're off in Brooklyn. Nets with the ball. Russell floats one up, and that's how we begin. Nets strike first. Like I said, man, you guys in the chat, keep it active, keep it engaging. We'll read out your comments all night. We'll shout you out. There's Gershon Yabusele in the block, turns, spins, kicks it back out. Jared Butler. Butler going to dribble, drive. Oubre spot up in the corner. And the 3-ball bounces a couple times and falls off the rim. Nets pick it up. Here is Zaire Williams. Alrighty, man. D'Angelo Russell back in Brooklyn. D'Lo going to find Claxton. A little give and go action. Tapped away out of bounds. Going to stay with Brooklyn. Be sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. W's in the chat for the neighbors, man. There's Cam Johnson coming around his screen. Drives, goes downhill, up, missed it. Turnaround hook shot. Claxton just threw up a wild one. He's got a mask on. It looks like Batman out here. But Claxton's going to get it to fall. Paul George going one-on-one. Going to drive, kick, Yabu. Now Jared Butler. Butler and Grimes get to start. Edwards coming off the bench tonight. 3-ball missed by Butler. Paul George tried to take it away. Could not. So I guess, so Justin Edwards got his minutes cut last night. And now he is, what, benched? Claxton, the roller, got it to fall. 6-0 Brooklyn is how we begin. Seeker, what's up, bro? Says, ready to get hurt again. I feel you. Oubre goes baseline, dunks it down. All right, man. 155 people in here. Do me a favor. Get it to 100 likes, man. We need 13 more. Let's go. Let's go. Here is Claxton. He's going to drive down the lane against Yabu. Goes up. Poked by Paul George. George up the floor. Oubre. Dribble. Drive. Fouled. And he's going to the line for 2. Welcome into Sixers Game Day Live. Pregame, live game, postgame. We got you covered no matter what. Even if we're suffering out here, we got you, man. We got you, man. Pete says, where's Edwards? Yeah, why is he coming off the bench now? Why is Justin Edwards benched? I don't get it. I don't get it. Kelly Oubre going to knock down the first. Will there be Phillies content? No, I don't cover the Phillies. I cover the Sixers on this channel and the Eagles on my A to Z channel. So check it out. Oubre at the line averaging 14.2 points per game this season. Oubre going to knock down a pair. Guys, do me a favor, man. Drop something in the chat. Fires, emojis. Do something, man. Let's get this thing active, popping, so we can push it through the algo. Here's D'Lo going to find Claxton. Claxton on the high post. Claxton turning against Yabusele. Claxton going to hand it off. Here is D'Angelo Russell. Going to drive with the right. Steps back. Kicks to the corner. Here's a 3-ball. And that one is airballed. Keon Johnson missed everything. Looks like it's going to be a shot clock violation. Once again, guys, go check out the merch store, man. This beanie's fire, man. Keep yourself warm during these cold times. Snow on the ground, you know how it goes. Here's a 3-ball on the other end. Butler can't get it to go. Yabu crashes glass. We got a tank of the tanks here. Here's Jared Butler going to kick. Oubre up top. Grimes thinking, dribbling, 4 on the shot clock. Pulls up from the elbow. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Cam Johnson. And then Butler almost poked it away. Butler coming off a promising night last night. Here is Cam Johnson. Going to kick over to Johnson. Keon Johnson for 3. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Gershon Yabusele. Sixers at least playing a lot quicker here to begin. Grimes going all the way down the alley and throws down the hammer. Quentin Grimes going to knot it up at 6. All tied up. Get this other scoreboard up here in just 1 second. D'Lo going to drive the lane. D'Lo goes up, right hand, rolled it through. Paul George going to drive the lane, kicks, Butler swings, Grimes for 3. Got it, cash money. Let's go, man. Tell you what, man, Quentin Grimes looks really, really good. Quentin Grimes looks really good, man. I'm just being honest. Did Daryl Morey finesse the Dallas Mavericks? Caleb Martin's still out, right? Pretty sure Caleb Martin's still out. Guys, we need 2 more likes. Who's going to get us to 100, man, so we can wake up the neighbors? We do this every game, ladies and gentlemen. Pre-game, live game, post-game, your one-stop shop for all game coverage. Even though the team is rough right now, we got you covered, man. We got you covered. Lawrence Green in the chat. What's up, Lawrence? Roosevelt, what's up? Rob Leo, what's up? Rob says, I like Butler and Grimes in the backcourt. Excuse me. Gang says, if Paul George doesn't have 20, I want him waived. I don't care if we still have to pay him. Banch says, can we get a Grimes emoji? We got to get more members first, man. The more members we get, the more emojis we can unlock. Secret says, I'd much rather watch Grimes, Butler, and the youth than our typical healthy lineup, which is sad to say. It's a fact. It's a fact. Once again, if you're just tapping in, man, a battle of the tanks tonight. Sixers down Joel Embiid with injury management. Tyrese Maxey with a knee contusion. Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon with old age. No, I'm just kidding. Kyle Lowry's got a hip injury that apparently, quote, won't go away. And Eric Gordon, I don't even know what Eric Gordon has. Oral surgery or something? No, I'm just kidding. Wrist injury. Eric Gordon with a wrist. Let's see. Dave in the chat. What's up, Dave? Fresh Prince. What's up, man? George, what's up, bro? We got 192 people in the chat. 100 likes in the building. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Drop the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking in the stands right now, there's a lot of Sixers fans here. I don't think Brooklyn Nets fans are even a thing anymore. D'Angelo Russell guarded by Jared Butler. He's going to find Keon Johnson. Johnson finds Claxton. Claxton right beneath the arc, guarded by Yabusele. Here's D'Angelo Russell against Paul George. D'Lo going to cross over. Finds a cutter. Claxton, he didn't roll. Paul George steals it away. Up the floor, Grimes throws it down, a one-handed slamma-jamma. Quentin Grimes, he's got an early 7. He's got an early 7. D'Angelo Russell up top, guarded by Quentin Grimes. D'Lo going to dribble, step back. D'Lo off balance 3, got it to go. What a shot by D'Angelo Russell. 7:07 to go here in quarter number 1. It's tied at 11. Here's Jared Butler. Butler going to kick back. Yabusele pops a 3. He answers. Yabu! Let's go, Yabu. Cam Johnson up to D'Lo. D'Lo guarded by Quentin Grimes. D'Lo at the top. Through the legs. D'Lo, the right hand, cross to the left. Back to the right. Stops. Drives. Floater. Got it. 6:30 to go here in quarter number 1. 14-13. Jared Butler at the top. Butler guarded by Claxton. He's going to step back for 3. Looked like a nice shot. Couldn't get it to fall, but it's out of bounds on Cam Johnson. They're going to call Sixers basketball. Kyle Lowry ready to collect his Social Security checks, his ego. Looks like they're going to challenge this one. Quentin Grimes out to an early 7. Shout out to Quentin Grimes. Obviously, it's hard to take a game like this into stock because you're playing the tanking Nets, but you know, the Sixers have come out with a lot more life. They've come out with a lot of energy. And yeah, man, they've come out playing a lot quicker, which I expected. Definitely expected. Chunky says, salute, hit that like, it's hella free. That's what I'm saying, man. Hit that thumbs up button. We can get more people in here, continue to grow the platform, and keep it going. Let's get it rocking and rolling, man. All right, man, if you guys are tapped in, do me a favor. If you've been tapped in all season and even before then, and you watch all the content, drop OG in the comments. If you're just a casual viewer, drop returning. And if you are new, if it's your first time watching this, drop new in the comments. We'll shout a couple people out. Rob Leo dropping the blue and red in the chat. What's up, Rob? Thanks for dropping that blue and red. Philly Sports Dylan, if you're in here, hopefully you try to run back your trivia streak tonight. Philly Sports Dylan won last night. Soon over the All-Star break, we'll tally up the trivia tallies. But yeah, man. We got Banj OG in the chat. Rob Anderson, Rachel Tice. We know Rachel's an OG. Banj is an OG. Alchemist OG. Secret OG. Let's see. Devin OG. Fresh Prince OG. Emmanuel OG. Pete OG. Lawrence OG. C Block Triple OG. Rob Leo OG. Chris Henry says, Ayo, put some respect on that like button, y'all. Exactly, man. Help us get up to 500, man. Let's keep it going and growing, baby. Let me ask you guys in the chat, why are you continuing to watch the Sixers this season? What's one good reason to continue watching the Sixers this season? Curious to hear your thoughts. Curious to hear your thoughts. One good reason to watch the Sixers this season. Or maybe you're just here to support me. I don't know. Elijah in the chat. New. Elijah, welcome to the family, man. Welcome to the family, Elijah. Thanks for being here. All right. They're going to call it unsuccessful Sixers basketball. Han says, I'm hate watching. James says, because I bet against them. CJ says, I like to suffer. Rob's is dedicated. Ban says, the streams are fire. And the chat community is the best. Let's go, baby. Let's go, man. Pete says, I love pain. $6:15 to go here in the first. Justin Edwards finally checks in. Is that Andre Drummond? Yo, he's really playing Drummond over Bona? Nurse. Are you serious, bro? You get, like, come on, bro. What did Adem Bona do to Nick Nurse? What did Adem Bona do to Nick Nurse? I need to know what Adem Bona did to Nick Nurse, man. This is unbelievable. No Ricky Council, no Adem Bona. What did these guys do wrong? What did they do wrong? All they did was help win 5 out of 7. D'Angelo Russell off the catch and shoot. Got it on the movement. Nice shot by D'Lo. D'Lo's having fun, man. He's making a good chunk of change. Doesn't have to try to win games. Here's Paul George. Finds Quentin Grimes. Back to Paul George. Paul George pops a 3. Missed it. Picked up by D'Angelo Russell. D'Lo down the floor behind the back. Quick trigger 3. Missed it that time. Grimes the rebound. Here come the Sixers. Quentin Grimes. The hesitation. The dribble. The drive. Grimes goes up and he is fouled. Fouled at the cup by Keon Johnson. What in the world did Adem Bona do to Nick Nurse, man? Alchemist says, I'm a Heat fan. I've been a sideline Sixers fan to support you, and the members are cool. Alchemist, thanks for being here, man. Much love, man. If you guys are like Alchemist and you're a fan of another team, but you still tap in, thank you. Thank you. How does PG have no points? I told you guys, man, I don't trust Paul George to drop 25 points tonight. Robert says something happened in practice that we don't know about. Alchemist says the post-game shows are worth the whole live, in my opinion. The calls are hilarious. Yo, appreciate that, man. Do me a favor. If you guys stay here all game long, man, pre-game, live game, post-game, if you're an all three type of viewer, drop a yes, sir, in the chat. I want to know who you guys are. I want to shout out the people that stay for the whole stream. Is that Jeff Doughton Jr.? Jeff Doughton Jr. is getting minutes over Ricky Council. D'Lo drives, floats it up and in. What in the world is Nick Nurse thinking right now? What in the world is Nick Nurse thinking right now? Hold up. RB, I told you. RB, don't get mad at this game. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. Drummond going to find Paul George. Paul George crosses, comes around the screen, finds a cutting Drummond. Drummond floats it. Nice touch off the glass. Drummond with the fillet. I need to know what Ricky Council and Adembona did to Nick Nurse. I really need to know. Drummond the steal, up the floor. Jeff Doughton Jr. drives all the way up and in. Yeah, the Sixers are tanking, man. Wow. Cam Johnson fouled. Ladies and gentlemen, I need an answer from you guys in the chat, all right? I know that we got 200 people in here. If you're one of the 200 people in here, pat yourself on the back, man. You guys are incredible. I need to know what is going on here. Tell me if I'm losing my mind. Did Ricky Council and Adembona help or not help the Sixers win 4 games in a row and win 5 out of 7 games? Did that happen or no? Was I dreaming for 2 weeks? Do I just forget everything apparently? Am I in a different world? Am I in a different universe? He brings Justin Edwards off the bench now. Grimes for 3. That one rolls up and out. Justin Edwards, the offensive rebound. Edwards kicks up the Podcast P. Podcast P gets trapped by 3 guys. Doughton, touch pass, stolen away. Here come the Brooklyn Nets. Trendon Watford going to kick it up to Cam Johnson. Swings to the corner. 3 ball. Missed it. 3:19 to go here in the first quarter. Grimes up top and he dribbled out of bounds. I need you guys to comment in the chat and let me know if I'm losing my mind. What did Council and Bona do wrong? Trendon Watford drives the lane, goes up and in, beats Drummond. So in for the Nets is Jalen Wilson, Trendon Watford, Day'Ron Sharp, Tyrese Martin, and Tosan Evbelman. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I don't know. Drummond floats it up, missed it. I remember this guy's name was hard to say last time, too. Tyrese Martin, here's Watford. Going to cross, drive, and fouled. Tosan Iwoma. Tosan Iwoma. Here comes Yabusele back in. Council should be starting. Devin says, is PG playing like playoff P or pandemic P? He is playing like, I don't even want to say it. I'll just say Pinky P. 3 ball from Jalen Wilson, and that's cash money. Nets go up by 5. Nick Nurse and Doc are related by marriage, says C Block. 2:20 to go here in quarter number 1. Doughton with the rock. He's going to find Justin Edwards, Podcast P to the bench. Here's Kelly Oubre. Oubre crosses. Now back the other way, drives into the lane, goes up through an elbow. Can't get it to fall. Sixers tap it out. Yabu trying to save it, and he throws it away. And they started bringing Yabu off the bench as well a couple games ago, so his momentum is screwed up. I feel like they had to go to Nurse and say, tank, bro. Edwards pull up 3. Got it. Good shot by Justin Edwards. Here's a 3-ball from Jalen Wilson. That's off the back iron. Picked up by Kelly Oubre. Here come the Sixers. Oubre behind the back, going to find Drummond. Drummond going to hand it off to Doughton Jr. Doughton down the lane. Drives all the way up. Missed it. Drummond tapping it out like a volleyball. Here is Kelly Oubre. Oubre running the pick and roll. Oubre goes hard shoulder in, and he is fouled by Day'Ron Sharpe. If you guys are a diehard Sixers fan in the chat, I need you to drop some blue and red. I need to know where my Sixer faithful is. I need to know where my Sixers faithful's at in the chat. Drop some blue and red. Oubre going to knock down the first. It's a 1-point game. Ricky Council finally checking in here with 1:14 to go. Kelly Oubre fouls a man at half court. Who was it? Iwoma. Whatever happened to Joe Harris on the Nets? Yeah, no, he's not in the league, man. He got traded somewhere and then he retired. We got Secret Underdog, Omron. What's up, bro? Kion, Pete, Ryan Rowe, Rachel Tice. Fresh as we're tanking without saying it. JSJ in the chat. Marsha, Fortnite, Fresh Prince. Day'Ron Sharpe goes right in for 2. Well, the tank is on, boys and girls. 55 seconds to go. Doughton going to hand it to Oubre. Oubre, Edwards. 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 1. Doughton Jr. at the top. Comes around a screen. Hits it back to Yabu. Yabu to Council. Council back to Yabusele. Yabu drives. Nice pass. Ricky for 3. He airballed it. Had to put it up quickly, and then the Sixers take it right back on the turnover. Edwards into Oubre, and Oubre scoops it right in for 2. We are knotted at 27. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Sixers trivia coming up here in just a second. Trendon Watford goes right in, bullies everybody out of the way. 9.9 to go here in quarter number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat right now, do you guys think the Sixers are in full tank mode? Yes or no? Yes or no? Three ball from Doughton at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. That'll take us to the end of quarter number 1. The Nets lead at 29-27, and it is the second quarter, so it is time for Sixers trivia. If you get it right, you're going to hear this sound. It's not about who gets it right. It's about who gets it right and comments it correctly in the chat first. Philly Sports Dylan was our winner last night. We'll see if he can repeat. So before we get into it, man, do me a favor, drop some fires in the chat. And interesting question today. But I got to see who's going to be our Sixer Scholar of the night, man. And our Sixer Scholar trivia question is presented by National University. National University is a nonprofit accredited university offering flexible online schooling programs. If you're somebody out there thinking to yourself, dang, I'm trying to work a full-time job and balance my friends, my social life, and also go back to school, NU is perfect for you because they offer 4 and 8 week online classes and allow you to start sooner and finish faster. They offer a variety of degree programs, over 150 credentials, certificates, and more. And most importantly, they understand when you start or return to higher education, you're not just a student, but a parent, caretaker, employee, and more, all at the same time. NU gives you the support to balance your life. National University is a veteran-founded university that awarded $50 million plus in scholarships last year. So if you're interested in checking out their flexible curriculum and program offerings, click the link down in the live chat or down in the description and get more info today. National University, where you can juggle school with everything else life has to offer. All right, man. Let's see who's going to be our Sixers Scholar of the evening. The question is, who is the Sixers' all-time leader in points per 100 possessions? Who is the Sixers' all-time leader in points per 100 possessions? Think hard. Think far back. Think shallow. I don't know. I'm trying to throw you off. Maybe I'm not. It's pretty easy when you think about it, though. If you know your Sixers trivia, though. Got to know your Sixers trivia. Once again, only your first answer in the chat will count. Let's see. Let me pull it up here on my cellular device as well. And again, sometimes if you comment, it might show up differently than it does on my screen because my chat has them all in the order that you have commented. So even though it might appear a little bit different due to some delays on your end, we got the official list here on my end. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this one is hard at all. This was kind of a layup question. Sixers all-time leader in points per 100 possessions was obviously Joel Embiid. So let's see who got it in the chat as we start quarter number 2. And then we got a foul right off the rip, Quentin Grimes. All right, man. First one to get it in the chat is... Dang, we got 3 right back to back. Hold on, let me see who got it in first. We got Wesley Dwarbe. Wesley was first. Pete was second by a split second. And Kyle Lehman was third. Wesley, if you're in the chat, man, congratulations. Wesley, congratulations, man. Wesley, our Sixers Scholar of the evening. Pete and Kyle, you guys were very, very close. Very close, man. Wesley, congrats. First trivia dub of the season. Got your name on the tally board, man. Floater from Watford. He missed it. And a tap in. The Sixers are refusing to rebound the basketball. I know some people said Wilt Chamberlain. That would have been my other guess, but I don't even know if the stat was tracked at that point. We might have to start incorporating some NBA trivia questions if we run out of Sixers ones. Yeah, a lot of people said Wilt or Joel. So both good guesses. We got a lot of good guesses in here. Somebody said Manute Bol. What else we got? George Niang, the minivan. That's great. Pete says I can't type any faster. I know, man. Yo, you were close, Pete. You were close, bro. It's our little way of having some fun during these horrible games, to put it lightly. I'm excited to tally up the winner sheet, though, see who has the most wins so far. Here's Jared Butler, drives down the lane, lost control of it, got it back, turns, fades, short. And there goes a layup down the other end. Who was that? Somebody just got an and one. Zaire Williams. I don't like these Brooklyn Net jerseys. What do you guys think? I don't like these jerseys. It's hard to see them, especially their names. By the way, Joel Embiid's point per 100 possessions is 42.4. In case you were wondering how many, which is just a ridiculous number, especially when you look at NBA history. 42.4 points per 100 possessions. That is like one of the best numbers in that category of all players all time. So it does go to show how dominant Embiid can be as a scorer, but it is unfortunate that his body is not keeping up with injuries and keeping up with that pace. There's Gershon Yabusele in the block, posting up, turns again sharp, floats it up, airballed. They messed up Yabusele as well, man. They messed him up. Another shot short, and the Sixers refuse to rebound. This team has to address rebounding, man. Another turnover by the Sixers. They are in a terrible spot right now, man. They're just turning the ball over, turning it over. Here's a pump fake. Zaire Williams going to put up the J. Missed it. Sharp fighting Yabusele. What's going on with Yabu, man? He's getting bullied right now. Getting bullied. And there goes an easy layup down the other end. Jared Butler ran out in transition. And then we got a foul down the other end. It's going to be on Gershon Yabusele, who's the all-time leader in missed wide open layups. He's out there tonight. Pete says, I think that's number one of all time. I definitely think it's in the top 5. I know Joel Embiid is the leader all time in points per minutes, but I'm not sure who is the NBA's all-time leader in points per 100 because I'd have to filter out guys that played, like I'd have to filter it out by a certain number of possessions, which I can do. But I'd have to throw that in there as well. Because like it's going to be skewed a bit for guys that haven't played that much. But yeah. But I know Joel definitely is the leader all time in points per minutes, at least in a single season. That was last year. He was just absolutely tearing it up, man. That's why it's even more frustrating, man. Like, I don't think people are going to really talk about it or remember, but last year, Joel Embiid was tearing up the NBA. Like, those first 3 months of the season, he was having an all-time season. As Kelly Oubre picks up the little dribbler and throws it down wide open. 4-point game here in Brooklyn. Dude, Joel was averaging, 35 points a game. He was having the best single season I've ever seen until he got hurt against the Warriors. Here's a 3-ball from Brooklyn. That one off the mark, picked up by Iwoma. Here's D'Angelo Russell. Turns, drives down the lane, spins, kicks it back. Zaire Williams on the move for a 3. Got it to go. And the Nets lead by 7. Ego says it's Steve Kuberski. I don't even know who that is. That's what I mean. It's probably skewed, though. It's probably skewed. He probably doesn't have that many possessions compared to some of these other guys. Martin says Sixers might start a massive losing streak. They look horrible. What do you guys think? Should the Sixers shut Joel down and just try to lose every game? They're getting actually pretty close to that top 6. If they lose tonight, they'll be tied with Brooklyn. So what do you guys think? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. 225 people rocking with us live right now here on the Sixers Game Day Live Show. Do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and help us push this out to more viewers. Drummond just got boxed out on a missed free throw. Why didn't they trade Drummond at the deadline, man? Like, what is his purpose? I know he's got to be frustrated too. By the way, guys, Paul George, 10 minutes played, 0 points. Where's all the Paul George stands out there? Am I going to have to fight off another stand base? I've done it against Ben Simmons, James Harden. Do I have to go out here and fight the Paul George stands again? Guys got 0 points in 10 minutes. 0 points. And what did I say before the game, man? I have been predicting these games to a T. To a T. I told you I was not confident in Paul George, even in this game. Another missed 3 by Cam Johnson. Here are the Sixers. Drummond down low, trying to juggle the ball, picks it up, turns, saves it. Here's Butler. Butler going to find Quentin Grimes. Pops up a three. It's short. Three ball on the other end. Brooklyn nails it again. Another miss by the Sixers here. This is crazy, bro. Three ball miss. Drummond picks it up. Here's Quentin Grimes. He's going to spin in the post, puts it up, missed it again. I'm telling you guys, what did I say before this game? The Sixers are going to very much struggle with the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Nets have a better team tonight. Something has to be said, and I promise you, maybe I'll talk about it more in the post game. I don't want to rant right now, okay? Second of a back-to-back. They got me out here feeling like Joel on injury management. By the way, shout out to the beanies, man. Go check out the merch store if you want to support us. And cop your Sixers therapy shirt. I was rocking the Sixers therapy shirt yesterday. Somebody gave me a compliment. Definitely check it out, man. But anyway, like, people come in here and act like we're being unfair to the stars that play in this city. I say it all the time. Philly fans, when you're playing well, will get behind you like no other. So how do people come in here all the time and say, yo, you guys are hating on Paul George? Like, it has to be people that just have his poster up above their bed, right? Do you think we're being unfair tonight? The guy is 0 for 2 with 0 points in a game without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid against the tanking Brooklyn Nets team. So are we being unfair tonight? How come all the Paul George stands are quiet? You know what I mean? It's like, we are fans of the Sixers. We want to see this team do well. It's absolutely insane that this is a realistic thing right now. 1 rebound? Are you kidding me? That is an absolute slap in the face, man. It's a slap in the face. I'm not doing it to myself tonight, man, but I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. James says, how do you show up to call these games, RB? Much respect to you. Because that's what I do, James. Good or bad, win or lose. I'll be here all 82 no matter what. I'll be here no matter what, man. It's what we do. Literally every other fan base rips Joel and PG, but if we do it, we're bad fans. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just telling you what happens. Just telling you what happens, man. JS says, I got to get on the post-game call with you. Join the Discord, man. Join the Discord if you want to call in. Curtis says, you know why our don't have to watch the game. I don't know what that means, Curtis, but you were in here crying last night about Paul George too. Well, what about tonight? What about tonight? Am I being unfair again tonight? 0 points, 2 shot attempts in 11 minutes. I'm here to cover the Sixers, man. I want to see this team succeed. Kelly Oubre's got 10. Grimes has 10. 2 shot attempts is a slap in the face. Sorry, I was polishing my Paul George poster. What did you say about him? Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton. Claxton looking like Batman, turns, fades against Drummond, missed it. Drummond the rebound. Here's Paul George, defers again. This dude's out here playing like Tobias when Embiid was injured last year. Here's Jeff Doughton Jr. going to find Podcast P. Podcast P gets double teamed. Getting double teamed. And then he throws it away. Turned over by Paul George. And then Johnson steps out of bounds. Ego says, bro, we have the best football team in the world right now. It's just making my leash from mediocrity in the city very short. I expect the win. This is what the Sixers do to us every night. That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. I hear you, bro, and I agree. I agree. Quentin Grimes going to the bench. Here's D'Angelo Russell coming around a screen. D'Lo drives downhill, plucked away. Sixers get it back. They trail by 9. Oubre, Edwards. Edwards for 3. Missed it short. Sixers can't put the ball in the hole. 3 ball. D'Lo. Missed it again. Edwards kicks it out. The Downton up top. Paul George wide open for 3. Doink. 0 for 3 now. 0 for 3 in 13 minutes. Man, Paul, I did not ever expect you to be this bad. Here's an alley-oop. That one is a foul on Drummond. All we asked was to be a little bit better than Tobias Harris. And for the people that say, oh, well, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey aren't in. This is what we expected. We expected Embiid to be out a handful of games. We expected Paul George to step in and produce. Tyrese Maxey's over here laughing on the bench with Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's in freaking street clothes. The guy's a coach. Paul George, let me ask you guys this in the chat, man. Is Paul George worse than Tobias Harris in terms of a contract? I can't believe I'm asking this question. Joel Embiid has missed 37 games. Paul George has missed 19 games. Tyrese Maxey has missed 8 games. Jared McCain out after 23 games with a torn meniscus. I mean, if you want to cancel our franchise and watch it burn to the ground, I mean, why not? Talk about unlucky. I'm starting to think Paul George's contract is worse than Tobias. It's absolutely insane, man. Drummond guarded by Claxton. Drummond going to turn, dribbles, drives up in traffic. Got it to go. Andre Drummond. Drummond. Here's Trendon Watford. Going to find Cam Johnson. Dribbling. Pump fake. Pulls it up. Got it. Rolled off the rim. Drummond the rebound. Here are the Sixers. Paul George down the other end. Paul George. Drummond. Nice find. Doughton taps it. Edwards dribbling, driving. Edwards the ferocious one-handed jam. 7-point lead for the Nets. Oubre guarding ball. Trendon Watford. Watford. Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson. Up to Watford. Watford around a screen. Dribbling in. Finds a mid-range. Kicks it out. Johnson to the corner to the other Johnson. And a foul on Justin Edwards. We got 3 more years of this Paul George too. We have 3 more years of this, man. $250 people in the chat. Do me a favor, like the stream, man. We're at 160. Let's get it to 200, man. Thank you all for being here. Sixers Game Day Live, presented by National University, powered by BetUS. Sean J says, at this point, PG is a disaster. Rob says, PG is worse than Tobias. First one, good for Cam Johnson. Also, I want to give a shout out to Top Shot Tesla. Top Shot, if you're in here, man, I apologize for not reading your super chat last night on the post game as we were closing out. I was in full rant mode and was not looking at the chat. And he also gifted a membership. So Top Shot, if you're in here, thank you so much. Cam Johnson misses the second free throw, 1 for 2. Edwards going to pull up the mid-range. Got it. The fall rolls around a little bit on the cylinder. 6-point lead for the Nets. Wow. Keon Johnson just blew Drummond right off the coverage. Slammed it down. Three-ball Drummond. Little floater from, I think it was Cam Johnson, got it to go. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to save it for the post-game show, but boy, is it going to be... I don't think I can rant tonight. I'm not feeling it. Something has to be said about Paul George having 3 shot attempts in 15 minutes. Engen in the chat from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? Thanks for being here, man. Yo, Paul George might be worse than Tobias, man. This is insane, bro. This is insane. Sixers are down by 10. This man won't even take 10 shots. He won't even take 10 shot attempts. Drummond's out here chucking threes. Are you kidding me? Nurse, just go before they can you, bro. Wow. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from in the chat right now. Drop your cities, your states, your towns. Where you guys watching the show from tonight? I'm out of words with the Sixers team. This is actually unbelievable. You lose to the Detroit Pistons down Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. You lose to the Milwaukee Bucks down Giannis. You lose to the Raptors down R.J. Barrett, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Poeltl. And now you're about to lose to the Nets down Cam Thomas, and they're tanking. PG tapping into his inner Simmons and Tobias Harris. I mean, this is insane. 0 for 3? You won't even be aggressive enough to take shots? What did I say last night on the postgame? Even if you go 0 for 10, like, go down trying. How come somebody has to plant the ball in Paul George's hands and, like, push him? You know, he's like the little toddler that you put on the bike with the training wheels, but he doesn't go unless you push him in the back. Like, yo, go score the ball, man. Score the ball. We got Telford in the chat. Cap tapping in from Australia. Shout out to my Aussies in the chat. Banj from Collegeville. Rob from South Jersey. We got Driving and Delivering from Denver. Paradise from Canada. AD says, this is laughable. I'm beyond pissed off. We got Iridescent tapping in from Market Street, Center City. Remo says, LA flying to Philly for the parade. Let's go. I'll be at the parade. Hit me up if you're going to the parade, man. Maybe I'll see some of you guys out there. Salem in the house. Lakeland, Florida. Mexico City. Newcastle, England. Alejandro from Venezuela. I'm surely the only fan of the Sixers here, but I love this team. It's crazy because I'm young and haven't watched winning anything. It's okay. I haven't watched much of winning either. Philippines in the chat. Let's go, man. Another miss by the Sixers. This is insane, man. 13 points in the quarter. We are hitting a new low. Is that Adem Bona? Adem Bona finally enters the game, man. Adem Bona finally enters the basketball game. Adem Bona getting garbage minutes at the end of the first half is pretty comical. Wonder what their practices look like. First free throw missed by Claxton. Hey, Pete, you remember that article earlier this year where they where Maxey called out Embiid and they said they want to be coached harder? Well, I don't think they're getting coached harder, man. Jose says, I'm tapping in from a cave. That way nobody could see me rooting for the Sixers. Ban says, I'll be at the parade. Dave says, here's the deal with Paul George. He's a West Coast player. That's all it is, seriously. We got India in the chat. We got Phoenix in the house. Kevin, what's up, man? DJ says, I'm going to the parade. If you guys go, man, hit me up on Instagram or something or Twitter. Maybe I'll see some of you guys there, man. Ego says, now there's going to be 1 million people out at the parade, and we're not seeing anybody we know. Well, the other night, a couple people that watched this show were there and saw me, and we chatted it up, so maybe, you never know. Another layup for the Nets. They lead by 11. Here's a fun game we can play in the chat. At what game in the season, right? We're at game number 54. Here's Jared Butler. He's fouled en route to the basket. We're at game number 54. At what game will RB come onto the live stream with a paper bag on his head? What game do you predict RB comes on to this live game day show with a paper bag on his head? How much are the Sixers paying Paul George? 4 years, $212 million. 53 per year, first year of the deal. Salem NJ in the house. Lawrence says, let's go Sixers. I fail to see what they work on in practice. They don't practice. They don't practice at all. Another three from Justin Edwards off the mark. Is Paul George going to take a damn shot? Is he actually going to try? Like, what in the world is Paul George doing on the floor right now? Bona gets the rebound. Here come the Sixers. Butler up the floor. Butler dumps it. Edwards lays it in. Dude, Paul George runs out to the wing every time down the floor and just spots up like a shooter. This is insane, man. Here's Cam Johnson at the wing, guarded by Quentin Grimes. Here's Nicholas Claxton, one bouncer, and off the knee of Cam Johnson. And you know what's crazy, too? Is that Paul George last night tried to say that the fit with Joel Embiid is tough. Okay, well, if the fit with Joel Embiid is tough, then why can't you play without Joel Embiid? If you're supposed to be the guy to take over, no Maxey on the floor, why can't you take over against the Brooklyn Nets? This guy is so down bad. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Pete says, congrats on your Eagles' great win. Thank you, man. That's what's keeping me sane right now. Bona, nice block at the rim. Here come the Sixers. Butler kicks it up to the other, or to Quentin Grimes for three. And that's cash money. Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes. Joe says, blow this team up. Alberto says, you only watch these games because it's your job, man. I'm sorry I had to turn this junk off tonight. Rob says, Sixers getting out-rebounded 24-17. That's embarrassing. They should have played Bona from the first tip. They probably would be winning the rebound battle. Three ball from Keon Johnson. That one's off the mark. Jared Butler, full court heave. Just missed it. Just missed it. And that is how we enter halftime in a tankathon of the tanking teams. I don't want to talk about this game much. I want you guys to give me one word in the chat, not to describe this game, okay? Because we know what's going on right now. I want you to give me one word in the chat to describe Paul George's performance tonight. That's what I want. I want you to give me one word in the chat to describe Paul George's performance in this game. And I'm going to give you my word, and I don't think anybody's going to pick my word, but we'll see if somebody does. Anyway, let me give a shout out to BetUS. Go to betus.com, use the code YouTube150, get a 150% deposit match bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. What did I tell you before the game? RB's been on his crystal ball lately. I said, I'm more confident in the Nets. I think they have the better roster tonight. And I was joking before the game. I said, Paul George might not even put up 25 points. I don't think he's going to put up 25. I said he could either put up 33 or 14. And you know how many points he has right now? 0. Did you take the under? You should start taking the under on BetUS for Paul George, because not only can he not score, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. This is one of those games, as I always say, that you remember from a season. Just like last night's going to be a game I remember. I'm going to remember this game as the game where Paul George officially stopped giving a crap about this team. Because it is quite obvious what's going on right in front of our eyes. But anyway, go to betus.com, use the code YouTube150, bet the under on Paul George. Appreciate everybody being here, man. And shout out to BetUS for partnering with us all season long. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, here's my word to describe Paul George in the first half. Privileged. Privileged. We'll see if anybody else said it in the comments. But the reason I'm saying privileged is because the way he's playing right now is like the player that knows the team can't get rid of his contract. The player that knows he's going to get that big old check, but it doesn't matter. I've never seen a guy checked out. Well, I'm not going to say never, because the Sixers seem to recycle these types of players. But what Paul George has done tonight in this first half, dropping 0 points on 3 shot attempts against the tanking Nets in a game where Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are not playing, is one of the most disrespectful things that I've ever seen in my entire life. Paul George could go out there and score 1 bucket with his eyes closed. That's how bad the Nets are. And he has 0 points. Every possession, he is walking down to the wing, and he is letting Kelly Oubre, Jared Butler, and Justin Edwards run the offense. He is displaying some of the worst body language I've ever seen in my life. Like, it goes beyond being washed. It goes beyond that. This is not even about athletic ability and all that anymore. I've literally given up. Paul George, you should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed. Okay, man, let's go to the chat. And guys, do me a favor, like the stream. We need 20 more. Get us to 200 likes. Thank you for being here every single game, pregame, live game, postgame. One word in the chat. Let's see. Pathetic. Unacceptable. Fraudulent. Worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Unsurprising. Iniquitous. Typical. Pathetic. Nonchalant. Podcasted. Abysmal. Robbery. Feckless, disappointing, depressing, ski mask, depressing, crap, disastrous, privileged, disgruntled, selfish, disingenuous. They keep passing him the ball. He keeps passing it back. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it, man. This is the game where Paul George has officially given up. He has officially given up. I've never seen something like this, man. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I'm going to save the rest of my ranting for the postgame. I'm not even ranting tonight. I'm just here. I'm just here watching the game. Do we want the Sixers to win this game or lose this game? I'm not going to sit here and analyze this whole thing. Quentin Grimes, great night so far. Oubre. Nurse's rotations have been awful. They finally put a Dembona in. He's got 1 rebound in 3 minutes. Council gets 4 minutes. He plays Jeff Doughton for 9 minutes. I mean, what are we doing here, man? I know Maxey's out and Gordon and Lowry are out, but come on, man. 0 points against the Nets is embarrassing. It's actually a slap in the face to a lot of people. I just don't understand how we continue to get these types of players, man. From Simmons to Tobias to Paul George. You should be embarrassed. I can't even get mad right now. I'm disappointed. All right, man. We'll be back in just a few moments, and then we'll get ready for the second half. All right, man, we're back. Sixers Game Day Live Show presented by National University, powered by BetUS. Every game we're here, man. Pregame, live game, postgame. I've never seen something like this, man. The question of the day is the Paul George contract worse than Tobias Harris? Is the Paul George contract worse than Tobias Harris? Ladies and gentlemen, the Sixers need to bench Paul George in the second half. They need to send a statement here. They need to send a statement here because this is absolutely unbelievable. This is the official I have given up Paul George game. This is the official I have given up. Ladies and gentlemen, when will the pain and suffering end? When will the pain and suffering end? We got this contract for 3 more years? Dear Lord, man. Oh, man. This is actually insane. If you showed up to your job and sat there the whole day, you would have the same amount of points that Paul George has right now. You would have the same amount of points as PG right now. If you showed up to your job, did absolutely nothing today, and just sat there. All we asked for was 18 points a game, not 0. This is nuts, man. Oh, man. $49.2 million on the cap hit this year, then 51.6, then 54.1, and then $56.6 million player option in 2027. 3 more years. 3. I know they gave him the contract knowing that the last 2 years would probably be a wash, but this is what you're getting in year 1? Year 1? They flew out to your damn house, man. He told him, take your shoes off at the door. He told him to take their shoes off at the door. Joshua Harris was drinking and had a delayed flight, and they showed up, and I stayed up until 4 in the morning to break that news, man. Not break it, but react to it live. I stayed up till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Wow. When our head's going to start to turn, man. When our head's going to start to turn. You know, I should have went with my gut instinct. I remember being here live during game 7, actually game 6 of the Sixers and Celtics, and watching the Sixers collapse in those final 3 minutes of the game. And then in game 7, getting absolutely blasted off the floor by Jason Tatum dropping 50. I remember saying after that series, like, this is your best chance. You just blew your best chance. I should have stuck with my gut. They never recovered. They never recovered. Never. Rob says, very challenging to fix this organization. Pete says, it's a Sixers life, RB. At least I got to see the Sixers win a championship. Can't imagine how it feels to have never witnessed our Sixers win a chip. Well, I'm right there with you. I didn't get to see the Sixers win a championship yet. I've seen my Phillies win a World Series. Eagles win 2 Super Bowls. Amazing. Flyers haven't won in 50 years. Sixers, I think it's been, 42? 43? I think it's 43. So, but then again, man, starts from the top. Joshua Harris, when you have bad ownership, it's hard to escape that. Bro, Dr. J looked in PG's face and told him he was the missing piece. I know. Oh my gosh, man. This is crazy, man. All right, welcome into the third quarter as we begin. It is a 4-point game, 53-49. Here is Podcast P. Let's see if he actually does something in the second half. Defers again. Oubre Butler for 2. He missed it. Nets pick it up. Here come the Brooklyn Nets. D'Angelo Russell out to the corner for 3. Another miss. Now, again, you can be tanking. Like, you can try to lose this game, but Paul George is actually, actually he's not trying as Yabusele goes in. But Paul George can still get his, 20 points, or we could lose the game. This man has 0 points. This is insane, man. Insane. Claxton at the top. He's going to find Cam Johnson. Here's a corner 3 from Zaire Williams. That one off the mark, picked up by Quentin Grimes. Here come the Sixers. Grimes looking for PG. He finds him. PG dumps it. Yabusele for 3. Can't get it to fall. 2-point game here in Brooklyn at the Barclays. Zaire Williams going to find. He's getting hacked by Paul George. Now he's going to find Nick Claxton. Here's D'Angelo Russell. He pops a 3. That one's short. Claxton the putback. Where the heck is Yabusele, man? Somebody's got to teach Yabu how to rebound, man. Somebody's got to teach him how to rebound. Nets have 9 offensive boards. All the Sixers fans in the stands probably left. Paul George crosses, drives, floats it up. Yay! Paul George scored! He scored! He scored!
He's on fire!
Woo! Paul George is in the scoreboard. He's on the board, baby. 21 minutes played, and Paul George has scored his first bucket of the night. He's on fire. Here's Paul George again, coming around a screen. Steps back against Claxton. It's short. Sixers down by 2. 9:40 to go. The dribble, the drive, the dunk. Johnson wide open. There's Jared Butler. Butler, George, Oubre, Grimes, and Yabu. Here's the Oubre throws it down. Nice find by Jared Butler. This kid, Jared Butler, can play, man. That's why I liked him out of Baylor. That's why I liked him a month ago when the Sixers played the Wizards. Evan says, at this point, I'd rather have Jordan Poole than Paul George. Don Vito in the chat. What's up, Don? Presidential Mike, what's up, man? Says Paul Harris. Exactly. Can't wait to celebrate the Morey fired Shams bomb. Ego says, apparently the Sixers sent some season ticket holders to the game today on a Greyhound. They're probably headed back to the bus. Did they really? Oh, man. We got 200 likes in the chat. Let's go. Yes, sir. Wake him up. Yes, sir. I'm not going to wake them up too much tonight. Shout out to the neighbors, man. W's for the neighbors. They did shovel some of the snow today. Shout out to the neighbors, man. Shout out to the neighbors. Guys, watching this game is like dying a slow, painful death. This game's actually wild, man. We're in a dogfight with the tanking Nets. Paul George finally scores, man. Shout out to PG. Shout out to PG. I think the crazy thing is like Paul George really came across the country. 34 years old, could have mailed it in. He's like, nah, I'm going across the country to try to win a championship. My man took his whole fam across the country. Went to a whole new place. Rob says W for the neighbors. That's a fact. W for the neighbors, man. Pete says Paul George will do just enough to keep us from a lottery pick. It's almost unbelievable. It's like not even real. All right, man. Resuming play at the Barclays. Sixers down by 2. 57-55. Cam Johnson has it. Cam Johnson against Quentin Grimes. Nice defense by Grimes. Takes it away on the steal. Grimes up the floor. Yabusele. Here's Jared Butler. Jared Butler dribbling. Throws down low. Turned back over. Here come the Nets. 4-on-2. D'Lo the cross. Wow, what a play by D'Lo. Couldn't finish it, though. Picked up by Paul George. Here come the 76ers. Jared Butler scanning the floor. Jared Butler running a lot of point tonight. Here's Quentin Grimes for 3, and he drills it. Sixers back on top. Big play by Quentin Grimes. Here's D'Angelo Russell. Russell up top, coming around a screen. Nice touch pass. Here's the Nets. Cam Johnson steps into one. Can't get it to fall. Quentin Grimes going to find Paul George. Paul George wings it to the corner. Yabusele for 3. Too much on it. D'Lo at the top, guarded by Paul George. D'Lo guarded by Paul George. D'Lo going to drive against Paul George. Steps back. Mid-range shot. Got it to fall. Wow, this is truly depressing, man. This is really depressing. Sixers 5 for 23 from three-point range. 21%. Nets are at 23%. This Sixers team is absolutely terrible. Here's Paul George again. Throws it up in the air. Turned over again. Here come the Nets. 4-on-3. D'Lo. Keon Johnson. Johnson up to D'Lo. Here comes Claxton to set a screen. D'Lo going to find Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson, the drive, the lay, got it to fall. Nets lead it by 3. 6:50 to go here in quarter number 3. Quentin Grimes over to Podcast P. Here's Gershon Yabusele, and Yabu throws it away. Turn back over. Here's the Nets, 4-on-4. Johnson, one bouncer to the other Johnson, and Paul George watches him go right in to slam it down. I got no words, man. No words. No words. Sorry, I'm not saying anything, man. There's nothing for me to say. This is absolutely terrible. I can't wait to hear what Paul George says today after the game. What's he going to say now? Yesterday it was, oh, well, I can't fit with Joel Embiid. I'm having a tough time fitting with Joel Embiid. What's he going to say now? $2 super chat. Don Vito says, get this bum Paul George off of the floor. Yeah, man, Paul George is, this is bad, bro. This is bad. 2 points, 24 minutes. He's going to blame it on the pinky. And then he'll be out next game. Actually, the next game's in a week. Watch him be out next game, too, in 8 days. What's even more depressing is the Clippers warned us. I should have listened to Dime Dropper, man. Shout out to Dime Dropper. That's why I had him on the channel. I told him, come on the channel. Tell us about Paul George. He tried to tell us, man. Tried to tell us. Quentin Grimes, Jared Butler. Here's Paul George. Paul George, there we go. Step back 3. Missed it again. Bona back in the game. Edwards in the game. You know what's crazy too is like, I don't even know, man. We couldn't have even imagined it being this bad. This is horrible. Cam Johnson for 3. Missed it. Paul George the rebound. Up the floor to Quentin Grimes. Grimes almost threw it away. Tapped out by Brooklyn. Staying with Philly. You know what's crazy too is like all the Eagles fans, they're living off the high of winning a Super Bowl. You think they're watching this? No. They're not coming over here to watch this. Not watching this. Downton going to find Quentin Grimes. Grimes floats it up. Missed it. Bona. Missed it. Tapped away to the Nets. Trendon Watford going to drive. Floats it up. Got it to fall. 65-58. Grimes to Downton. Downton around a screen. Downton. Edwards. Edwards from the free throw line. Got it. Pete says Ronnie Lott sits his pinky off to get back in the game. PG takes 10 days off. Nets on an 8-2 run. This doesn't even look like a basketball game, man. Three ball from Johnson. Missed it. Picked up by the Sixers. Edwards up the floor. Floats it up. Blocked. Gets it back. Blocked again. Dude, the Sixers are getting bullied by the Nets. Just fire everybody, man. Just fire everybody. Dude, this is the worst body language I've ever seen in my life. Holy crap. This might be the worst body language I've ever seen. Doughton going to drive, step back, cross. Doughton the other way. Drives, floats it up. Short again. Where's Nick Nurse? Is he even alive? Where is... I don't even see him. Here's a floater. Missed it. Paul George trying to defend. Blocks it. And then a rebound and a easy layup. Dude, this is insane, man. This is insane, man. Ego says Nick Nurse wants out, I hope. I don't even blame you guys for not wanting to watch this, man. I mean, this is like eyes bleeding right here. Bona throws the Doughton, stolen away, picked up by the Nets. Like, keep in mind, the Sixers were supposed to be a championship contender. This is absolutely a miserable failure. This is actually unbelievable. We're sitting here on February 12th getting our ass handed to us by the Brooklyn Nets. Paul George goes up. Yay, drew contact. Paul George going to the line for the first time. Oh, that wasn't a shooting foul? Anyway, Bona got a layup there. Seven-point lead for the Brooklyn Nets. Here's Jeff Doughton Jr. Pinky P goes back to the bench. Here's Quentin Grimes. Grimes going to find Doughton. Doughton finds Oubre. By the way, no Ricky Council again, other than like 2 minutes in the first half. Ricky Council is in the dog cage. I don't know what happened to him. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to follow us on all platforms, man. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Stay active with us, man. We're going to get through these tough times. It's going to be very tough, though. It's going to be very tough for sure. Remo says, I was so excited for this season. They were supposed to be a championship contender. And here we are on February 12th. Paul George getting bullied by the Nets. Sixers getting bullied by the Nets. I mean, you can't even make this up. You can't even make this up. Oubre going to knock down the free throws. I mean, this is a race of who is trying to lose. Who is trying to lose this game more? 2:17 to go here in the third. D'Angelo Russell drives downhill, spins, floats it up, got it against Oubre. Nurse might have to deliver one of those Denver Nugget postgame speeches after this. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Nurse just went into the front office tonight and was like, you know what, I'm done. Here's Quentin Grimes up top. Grimes going to find Edwards. Edwards dribbling, turns. Edwards going to spin back to his left. Plucked away by D'Lo. 2.3 on the shot clock. Sixers going to get it back. Here's the inbound. Kelly Oubre pulls up. That one is short. And we got a foul on the other end. It's going to be on Jeff Doughton Jr. Bona's upset with the call. How's that a foul? Wraps up ball. All ball. Here's Day'Ron Sharp back in the game. Turns, hooks it up. Bona tries to get the rebound. Takes it away. Sharp. Here's D'Angelo Russell. Nets with a second opportunity. D'Lo to the corner. Wasn't even ready for it, but pulls it up. That one is off the mark. It was, I think it was Tyrese Martin back in the game. Here's a 3 from Russell again. This time he cashes it in. Dude, D'Lo's having the time of his life. This team is so bad, man. Here's Kelly Oubre. Drives, spins, floats it up. Are the Sixers even running plays anymore? I don't think Nurse has gotten up one time all game. I think Nurse is like going on strike. I think Nurse is going on strike, man. Here's a 3-ball again by Iwoma. He missed it. Rebounded by the Nets. Here's Iwoma again. 7 on the shot clock. Here's D'Lo. D'Lo, Iwoma. 2 on the shot clock. Everybody runs away from him and a floater falls. Wow. Wow. Foul on the other end. I just watched the Sixers run away from this guy on a defense. I just watched everybody run away. Elijah says Nurse took the job expecting to coach the MVP. I can't blame him for this failure. This is not what he signed up for. I partially agree with that. He took a pay cut to coach this stuff, man. To coach Joel and Tyrese, James. Why is Paul George back in the game? Just sit him. Maybe they're trying to tank, so they bring him in. Here's Gershon Yabusele. Shot clock unplugged. 10 seconds to go. Doughton misses it. Grimes puts it up and in. 3-ball from deep. That one is no good. Sixers go to the fourth quarter. And, boy, man, you want to talk about brutal. You want to talk about ugly. You want to talk about just devastating. The tank is on, baby. Can everybody drop a tank in the chat? Can everybody drop a tank in the chat? I'm about to take these boys back to school, man. Let's give a shout out to our great sponsor over at National University. We got to take the Sixers back to school, man, because they need some lessons. They need to go back to the classroom. Some of these guys need to start applying for jobs because they're not going to make it in the NBA. No offense. But anyway, man, National University is a non-profit accredited university offering flexible online schooling programs. If you're someone who's trying to balance work, life, and school, or maybe dropping 2 points in a game where you should have 42, NU is perfect for you because they offer 4 and 8 week online classes while allowing you to start sooner and finish faster. You can go to school from the comfort of your own home, man. They offer 150 degree programs, credentials, and certificates. And they understand that when you start or return to higher education, you're not just a student, but a parent, caretaker, employee, and more. NU gives you the support to balance your life. They are a veteran-founded university, and National University also awarded $50 million plus in scholarships last year. Not $53 million to go out there and drop 2 points in 3 quarters, but $50 million plus to help your academic efforts. So if you're interested in checking out their flexible curriculum and program offerings, click the link down in the description or coming through in the live chat. Check out the forum, get more information today. National University, where you can juggle school with everything else life has to offer, like defensive coverages coming right at you that you don't know how to go up against. Paul George needs to go back to National University. He needs to go back to the university. I don't think Paul George has a collegiate background, does he? Did he graduate? Why is Grimes the leading scorer? Nothing makes sense anymore, man. Paul George has 2 points. Paul George has 2 points, man. Champs says, quick fix, trade Joel Embiid. Let me ask you guys this. What would a team be willing to give up at this point for Joel Embiid? That's a serious question. Serious question. Sixers almost get the turnover, but it stays with Brooklyn. Brooklyn up by 10. Dude, Nick Nurse looks so lost on the sideline. Watford down the lane. He's fouled by Andre Drummond. We're experimenting with the big man lineup. Yabu and Drum God. Yabu and Drum God. Daddy Beats says, hit that like. Hit that thumbs up, man. We're out here suffering. Suffering. Don says nothing. Sixers would have to attach a lot of assets to get rid of Joel Embiid. What would you guys do to trade Paul George? What would you give up to get rid of Paul George's contract? Seriously, how many assets would you give up to get off Paul George's contract? I'm sitting here trying to come up with the worst games in my head, and I remember that Ben Simmons game against the Grizzlies. I think that was 2021 before he collapsed. Tobias Harris, there was a couple games where he dropped like 4 points, but 2 points against the tanking Nets. No Maxey and Embiid. Pretty tough, man. Here's Justin Edwards dribbling, driving downhill, floats it up, got it to drop. 10-point lead for the Brooklyn Nets now. Edwards gets one back. Tyrese Martin sidestep 3, drills at the Nets, lead by 13 points. (81-68). There's Jared Butler, crosses, pulls up. Jared Butler. Jay Butler from the elbow. Ego says, I'd give up multiple first round picks, and I'm not even joking. Day'Ron Sharp finds a cutter. Oubre almost stole it away. Nice save by Yabu. Paul George is on the bench, where he should be right now. Drummond in the post. Drummond turns. Pump fake, pump fake. Drummond on the pivot. Might have walked a couple steps, almost threw it away. Edwards gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Jay Edwards, the cross, the drive, pump fake, pull up, missed it. Drummond can't get the rebound. This team is so clumsy. Martin, the cross, the drive, the float, missed it. Edwards to Jared Butler. 9:40 to go. Can the Sixers make a comeback? They got 70 points. Butler goes up, blocked again. Watford 4-on-1. The alley-oop, the slam. Nets lead it by 13 points. Here's Kelly Oubre. Oubre at the top. Going to find Yabusele. 9:10 to go. Here's Kelly Oubre. Crosses. Oubre scanning the floor. Here's Yabusele. Throws it and turned over. Yeah, this might actually take the cake from last night as the worst game of the season. This actually might be the worst game of the season. Well, there's so many to choose from, but Day'Ron Sharp poked away by Jared Butler. Nice play. Here's Yabusele. The fact that Daryl Morey came out and said that this team can still win a championship is just a slap in the face. Drummond the drive. Missed it. Dude, I swear, Drummond plays in slow motion. You ever play a video game and you turn the sliders down, the speed down to 50? That's Andre Drummond. This guy is, he's actually playing in slow motion. It's unbelievable. I've never felt so emotionless over a loss. This is actually insane, man. I'm not talking right now because I actually have nothing to say. I actually have nothing to say. I mean, I've already said everything. I've already said everything. Like, I don't know what else I can say. $2 super chat. Hayden Azanaro says, serious question. Are the Sixers tanking? I mean, by one way or another, they are. They're either just trying to tank or they're actually this bad. Like I said, I can take the tanking. I can, you know, I see the writing on the wall, right? But what I can't accept is Paul George playing like, I don't even want to say it, bro. I don't want to stoop down to that yet. We'll wait till the post-game show. I just can't believe this is a real performance from Paul George. I can't believe that this is a real performance out of Paul George. This is insane. Rob says they're just that bad. JS says I do, RB. Open call line sooner tonight. Listen, man, the phone lines will be open. Look, if you guys want to chime in, call into the Discord, man. It's easy. Download the free app, join the Discord, and call in. I need to hear from Sixer Nation, man. I need you guys to rant if you have any energy left. Sharp goes into the lane, floats one in. Paul George, a little clap of the hands. Like that's going to do something. Why'd you even bring Paul George back in? Sit him out. Paul George turns it over. Swatted out of bounds by the Nets. Here's Paul George up top. He gets double teamed again. Justin Edwards drives. Oubre baseline. Lost it out of bounds. Going to stay with the Sixers. I need to hear you guys ranting after the game, man. Rant after the game on the Discord because I don't have much to say. Three ball from Grimes. What a shot in the corner. Quentin Grimes. Backdoor cut and a dunk. Oubre drives in the lane, goes up in traffic, lays it in. 12-point game now for the Brooklyn Nets. 6:50 to go. .640 to play here in the fourth. D'Lo up top. He's going to find Cam Johnson. Johnson, D'Lo. D'Lo drives. D'Lo floats it up. Blocked by Paul George. He makes a stand. Quentin Grimes. Paul George crosses, kicks it out. Oubre for three. Got it. I don't think Paul George wants to look at the rim. I don't think he wants to look at the rim, man. Nets get it plucked again. Here come the Sixers. 6 minutes to go. Oubre, Grimes, backdoor, Oubre to lay in. Got it. It's a 7-point game. Woo! Oh, we're coming back. We're coming back. $2 super chat, Don Vito. Buy the Team RB will crowdfund. I'm going to need a lot more super chats than that, man. Only 1 billion. I feel pain. I feel no emotion. I feel no emotion. No words, man. No words. Woo. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Paul George. Boy, have we been through the experience. Boy, have we been through the experience. Sixers are coming back, baby. Remember what Daryl Morey said? The Cavs should be scared of us. The Cavs should be scared of us. You got to squint real hard, man. You got to squint hard. Squint. You may have to squint a little bit. All right, man. I'm squinting, RB. I'm squinting. Let's go. Squint. Squint. 7-point game. Into the lane, and there goes an easy one. Cam Johnson. Nets lead by 9. Let's go, man. Quentin Grimes up top. Here comes Pinky P. Didn't get the ball. Bona going to find Paul George. Paul George into Bona. Bona turns, spins, tries to hook it up, lost it. 1 on the shot clock, has to go up. Shot clock violation. Shot clock violation. Nick Nurse is up. Oh, he's finally up. He's finally up. Nick Nurse got up off the bench. I feel bad for Nurse, man. He might have some health issues after coaching this team. 5:06 to go here in the fourth. Trendon Watford against Justin Edwards. Here's Cam Johnson. Pick and roll. Claxton down low. He lost it. Oubre has the rock. Here comes Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre going to hand it off to Paul George. Paul George guarded by Cam Johnson. One bouncer. Oubre floats it up. Got it to go. It's a 7-point game. It's a 7-point game. Oh, they're coming back. They're going to play themselves into a win. They're going to play themselves into a win to mess up their draft as Watford cashes one in. Here's Quentin Grimes. Grimes going to step back, pops a three. It's short. Not the Sixers trying to turn it up with 4 minutes to go. 3-ball missed again. Rebounded by Cam Johnson. Keon Johnson for 3. Missed it. Bono. Oh, he almost took him out. Quentin Grimes down the floor. Oubre for 3. Got it. Got it. 6-point game. Sixers coming back. They're going to win this game, aren't they, to mess up their draft pick. Here's Tyrese Martin. Claxton going to get bumped by Adem Bona. .320 to go. Watford up to Johnson. Kicks it out. 3-ball. That was Jalen Wilson. Cashes it in. Nets back up by 9. What do you have for me, Paul George? What do you have for me, Paul George? What you got for me, Podcast P? What you got for me, brother? What you got for me, man? What you got for me, Podcast P? $350 people in the house. Welcome into Sixers Game Day Live. Like the stream, subscribe to the show. Oubre's got 12 in the fourth quarter. Okay, Kelly. What you got for me, Kelly? Kelly with 28, by the way. Kelly going to get a 30-piece? Kelly with a 30-piece? I thought it'd be Paul George tonight. I was wrong. I thought I was... I mean, I did say this before the game, though. I said Paul George is either going to give you 33 or 14, but he only gave you 2. Is that Jared McCain? What's up, Jared? What's good, Jared? Good to see you out here, buddy. Maxie, the future, man. Larry, you'll be assistant coach. Jared out here looking pretty spiffy, man. Jared looks like he's about to go out for a night on the town. Shout out to Jared, man. Oubre with 28, Grimes with 21. Grimes has been a really good player so far. Lawrence has hit the like button, came in late, but hit the like. Let's go, man. Get us up to 300 likes. All right, Podcast P, what you got for me, man? The Black Eye P. He's got a black eye. So we'll call him Black Eye P instead of the Black Eyed Peas. All right, Quentin Grimes. Grimes, Bona, Paul George, Justin Edwards, Kelly Oubre. Here's Quentin Grimes finds Podcast P. Podcast P going to drive to the rim. Goes up, lost it. Out of bounds. Going to stay with the Sixers. 2:57 to go here in the fourth. 94-85. Here comes D'Angelo Russell back in the game. Bona going to find Paul George out to Quentin Grimes. Grimes contested triple, and he was fouled by Keon Johnson. Quentin Grimes going to the line for three. Black Eye P. It's a sad day when you miss Harris, Tucker, and 2-5. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Dang, came down right under his landing spot, man. Could have hurt him really bad. They're going to look at it for a flagrant. That's right. Give us a flagrant. We're trying to win this game. Ego says, man, put me out my misery. All right, man. 400 people in the chat. Do me a favor, like the show, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member and support us, man, click that join button down below. Go to the merch shop, Philly Take with RB. Get yourself a This Guy Needs Sixers Therapy shirt. We all need Sixers Therapy right now, man. We got the This Girl Needs Sixers Therapy. Get one for your wife as well. All right, man. Get us up to 300 likes. Hit the thumbs up. We got an official review. Will it be a flagrant? Yeah, flagrant one. Woo! Reckless closeout on Keon Johnson. Quentin Grimes going to the line for three, and the Sixers get the ball back. You're telling me we got a chance? You're telling me we have a chance? Let's go! Yeah! Woo! First one missed at the line. Tried to tell y'all, man. Beginning of the game, I told you all. Told you to take the Brooklyn Nets on BetUS. Second one good at the line. Third one missed. 1 for 3 at the line. 1 for 3. 2:52 to go. Sixers get the ball back. It's an 8-point game. Here's Pinky P. Black Guy P going to find Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes going to drive, spin, fade, fouled. He's going back to the line for 2 more. Quentin Grimes looking for revenge at the charity stripe. Woo! Free throw's good at the line. 6-point game. Can the Sixers come back and battle? There's Trendon Watford. 2:35 to go. D'Angelo Russell matched up on Edwards. Here's Trendon Watford. Watford, the cross, the drive. Watford to the lane, goes up, and looks like a goaltend. Or did they call a foul? Maybe a foul and a goaltend. That wasn't a goaltend? Okay. Okay. Whatever you say, referee. Whatever you say, man. Okay, 2 at the line for Watford. First one is good. I like how everybody's dropping Paul George nicknames in the chat. That's great. Like the show, man. Get us to 300. Help us push this show out to more people. We got Postgame coming up. 2 free throws, good at the line. 8-point lead for the Nets. Here's Kelly Oubre. 2 minutes until the Sixers go to the All-Star break. Paul George at the top, comes around a screen. Paul George gets double-teamed, and then he gets it stolen away. Cam Johnson all the way up and in. 10-point lead for the Nets off the Paul George turnover. Wow. Quentin Grimes going to dribble, drive down the lane. Grimes, Oubre, goes up, blocked. 1:54 to go. 10-point game. There's D'Angelo Russell. Russell. Guarded by Kelly Oubre. RB, can I stop squinting? D'Lo for 3. Doink. Nets get it back again. Wilson going to drive, kick. D'Lo, the pump fake. D'Lo dribbles in, one bouncer. Jalen Wilson for 3. That's the dagger, man. 101 to 88. Timeout, Nick Nurse. The Sixers have been canned again. Yes, sir. $10 super chat. Merksy Shoom. Mersky. Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, fire everybody. Yeah, I really don't care what happens at this point. I'm ready for this season to come and go. Here's Quentin Grimes, Yabusele. Yabu throws it to Oubre. So the 3 ball did not count because of a shot clock violation. Oubre fouled en route to the basket. This is the first time I felt very emotionless during a game all season. Like I just don't have much emotion to give. I'm just here analyzing, calling the game, but this is insane, man. This is like actually ridiculous. Let's go. Sixers will be tied with the Brooklyn Nets after this game, though. They'll be tied for the 12 seed or the 11. Getting closer to that top 6, man. Sixers need to shut down Joel Embiid. Shut down the rest of them. Nick Nurse is clueless. Paul George, man, I got things to say about Paul George in this post-game show coming up. I got things to say about Paul George in this post-game show. Second one good for Oubre. $5 super chat. Sean Bolger says, I think PG is already mentally in the All-Star break. All-Star break? I think PG is mentally in Cancun. I think Paul George is mentally in retirement. What Paul George did tonight was a slap in the face to every single person watching this game. Sixers down by 8. No look pass. Claxton throws it down. Why are you calling a timeout, Nurse? End the game, man. You don't want to call a timeout yesterday when you needed to draw up a final play where Joel Embiid passes up a wide open shot. But you want to call a timeout down 10 points when you're about to lose to the tanking Nets. All right, man. All right, man.
Let's go.
This is insane, bro. $5 super chat, Mr. 89. He says, going from the Eagles to the Sixers is like buying a mansion and having it seized by the IRS. Oh, man. We really watched a world championship 3 days ago. We watched a world championship and Paul George put up 2 points against the Brooklyn Nets. This can't be real life, can it? We're in the Barclays Center. You got rats crawling out from the bottom of the seats. You got no Nets fans and you're getting beat by the Nets. This is crazy. The inbound is almost turned over. Paul George blamed Joel Embiid last night, and he can't fit with him, and it's challenging. Who's he going to blame tonight? Quentin Grimes down the lane. Grimes goes up, lays it in. Paul George needs to be arrested for theft after this game. Quentin Grimes going to cause the turnover. Grimes is going 110%. He's going 110%. Here's the inbound. Quentin Grimes for 3. And he missed it. 8-point game. Jordy Fernandez calls a timeout. We got a cardiac game, do I dare say, in Brooklyn. I can't believe they're still trying to win this game, man. Just end the game, bro. Just tell us you're tanking and end the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this all the time, but I would love to have you call into the show. I'm getting tired of talking on these post-game shows because I say the same thing every time. So I would love to have you guys call in on the Discord and rant about this team. Somebody's got to call in and rant about Paul George, right? Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to. Somebody's got to call in praying about Paul George dropping 2 points. Oh, man. This guy's still out on the floor, man. Black IP. Black IP. 29 seconds to go here in the fourth, and he traveled. The inbounder traveled. He walked on the sideline. Unbelievable. The Sixers have a chance. The Sixers have a chance. He's out here doing the shuffle on the sideline. What you got for me, Paul George? What you got for me, Paul George? Quentin Grimes dribbling, driving downhill, goes up, lays it in. Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes. And he steals it away. Grimes all the way, lays it in. 4-point game.
He's on fire.
Quentin Grimes with 4 consecutive points. We got a game. Here's the inbound. Iwoma is fouled by Paul George. Paul George wants a review. Quentin Grimes really about to mess up this tank, man. Yo, Quentin Grimes is a hooper, man. Quentin Grimes is a young guy who says, I don't give a crap about your tank. I don't care about your tank. I'm Quentin Grimes. I'm trying to earn some minutes, man. I'm Quentin Grimes, and I'm trying to earn some minutes. Yeah, Quentin. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know, Quentin. Yeah, Quentin. Quentin Grimes. We got a game in Brooklyn, baby. We got a game. That's what we do every single game. Pre-game, live game, post-game. Do me a favor, like the show. Guys, can we get 15 more likes to get us to 300? Can we get there? Can we get there? Challenge unsuccessful. All right, man, we got a game. Sixers need a steal. Quentin Grimes looks hungry. Here's the inbound to D'Lo. D'Lo just elbowed Oubre. It's a foul! Sixers ball! Yes, sir! Woo! Nets are really trying to tank this game, aren't they? Ladies and gentlemen, lock all windows and doors. We are coming in for a landing, man. Shout out to my guy, Zoom Off. We got a game in Brooklyn. Sixers trying to make it interesting. 4-point ball game. Who's going to take the shot? Podcast P, what you got for me? Here's the inbound to Yabusele. They're running it through Grimes. Grimes for 3. It's short. Grimes trying to get it back. He saves it. Podcast P. Paul George doesn't know what to do. Dishes it off. Edwards for 3. Short. Game over. Oh my gosh, yo, watching the Sixers is like a disease. They tried to make it interesting just to lose. Yo, Paul George didn't know what to do with the ball, man. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do, man. Yo, he passed it off, man. That is just the perfect way to end this night. That is the perfect way to end this night, man. The Sixers lose. Quentin Grimes and Kelly Oubre combined for 60 points. Guys, can we give 30s in the chat real quick? Can we give 30s in the chat? 30's in the chat, man. Thirties in the chat. Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre. We got 299 likes, man. Get us to 300. Never have I been this emotionless after a Sixers game. But I do have some things to say about Paul George, man. I got a lot to say about Paul George, actually. As we just witnessed, quite frankly, maybe the most embarrassing performance ever. Ever. Maybe the most embarrassing loss ever. Embarrassing performance. Guys, we will continue to suffer through the madness. Thank you to everybody being in here. Pre-game, live game, post-game. I'm going to drop the Discord link. You guys got to tap into the Discord, man, if you want to call in and give your thoughts on Pinky P in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, that was quite frankly the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. That was insane. That was insane. Are we happy that we lost? Now we're tied with the Brooklyn Nets. Are we sad? Are we frustrated? What are we? What are we? We got some things to say on the post-game show, man. Guys, stick around. Stay right here. We'll be back in a few minutes. Post-game live coming up. We're about to rip into a couple players here, man. Lots to talk about. Tank is officially on. I need to deliver a message about Paul George. I don't feel like I don't feel complete tonight. I can accept the loss. I can accept the fight at the end, but what I can't accept was the effort that I just saw from Paul George. So I need to get a message off my chest about Paul George. And I would like people to call in to give their thoughts on Paul George and the Sixers as well. So we'll get into it here in the post-game show in just a few moments. Wow. 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 Here we are yet again, my friends. Welcome in to the Sixers postgame live show presented by RocketMoney. Find a hobby. Go make yourself some bread. Increase your personal finances. Learn a skill. Whatever you do, if you continually find yourself back circling to watch this team, you are a warrior, man. You are a strong, mentally tough individual. It has been a long time since I had literally no emotion during a game. I felt soulless. I felt heartless. I felt lifeless watching this basketball game. But it gets even worse. I'm not mad at the loss tonight. I'm not mad at the tank. I see Operation Tank. But what I am mad at is an individual who pretty much spit in everybody's faces tonight. We'll talk about it all. We'll get into it. Sixers postgame live show. If you are tapped in on an audio platform on the rewatch, the re-listen, do us a favor, rate, subscribe, share it around, give us a 5-star, or tap in live with us after every game on YouTube. We do this every single game, and we will continue to do this every single game. Pre-game, live game, post-game. If you want to call in, join the Discord link. We have to rant, man. We have to rant. I'm sorry it has to happen. I've been holding back. I've been containing this burst of emotions all night. So I have a message to deliver. And I'm going to try to be very simplistic and very direct with it. I want to know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, right now, drop a couple words, drop a sentence, maybe one word, whatever you're feeling in the chat tonight as you come in and you tune into this show. Drop a few words, phrases, whatever, to describe how you are feeling about Paul George and the 76ers tonight. Just let me know. Let me know in the chat. Before I give you my rant, I got to let you guys know that the post-game show is presented by RocketMoney. Ladies and gentlemen, RocketMoney is a personal finance app that you've probably seen everywhere at this point. They help you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Maybe you're somebody that signed up for a subscription before, you forgot about it. Trial period runs, you start getting billed. You're like, what the heck's going on month after month? Well, for example, with that scenario, RocketMoney will help you, and that no longer needs to be an issue. They will help you maintain all of that. They can allow you to see all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money goes. For ones you don't want anymore, RocketMoney can automate it to help you cancel them. They have a whole dashboard where they give you a clear view of your expenses on all your accounts. You can link all of them and create a personalized budget to monitor your spending, and you can be alerted if one of your recurring subscriptions increases in price. And the best part is they'll even try to negotiate lower bills for you by finding the best opportunities to save. RocketMoney has over 5 million current users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with RocketMoney. Go to rocketmoney.com/gameon today. rocketmoney.com/gameon. Once again, rocketmoney.com/gameon today. The game was on tonight. The game was on, and the people were watching closely. They were watching the 76ers in a game where they thought that the Sixers would be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets. And you know why they didn't beat the Brooklyn Nets? Not because Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid were out. I said before the game, I actually predicted this one to be 110-106. It was 100-96, so I was 10 points off for each team. They didn't lose the game because Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid didn't play. They didn't lose the game because they weren't as talented, even with young guys out there. They didn't lose the game primarily because Nick Nurse didn't play enough guys and didn't play the right rotations. We knew this was a battle of the tanks. The Sixers are now tied with the Brooklyn Nets. Both are 20 and 34. And the Sixers are a top 6 team now, which means they have approximately a 50% chance at the moment of actually getting their top 6 pick, which at this point feels like the right way to go. But they didn't lose this game because of any of those listed reasons. They lost this game because Paul George is an absolute disgrace. He is an embarrassment. He is going down on the list of honorable Sixer mentions with Ben Simmons, with Tobias Harris, and many more. But most specifically, Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, because what Paul George did tonight was go out against one of the worst young rebuilding teams in the NBA, and he flat out said, I don't give a crap. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Paul George, all in one, all the same. Paul George dropped a hefty 2 points in 37 minutes against the Brooklyn Nets. I said last night on the postgame show, it's like you have to plant the ball in his hands and kick him in the ass and tell him to go. Tonight wasn't even that. In a game without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, Paul George just dropped 2 points in 37 minutes. Is Paul George's contract worse than Tobias Harris? I think yes. Paul George and the effort level that he gave tonight is an absolute slap in the face to every single citizen out there who goes to their job and works as hard as they can. Paul George just spit in the face of the entire fan base. This was the iconic I have given up game from Paul George. He literally gave up. He deferred every possession. Defer. Swinging out to Grimes. Swinging out to Edwards. I mean, really, who the heck did you just lose to? You're being guarded by Cam Johnson. You're being guarded by Zaire Williams. You're being guarded by Tosan Ivoma. And I'm not saying he wasn't doubled on some possessions, but Paul George had many opportunities to take the ball, go from point A to point B to the rim, and he deferred to his teammates. And last night, Paul George came out and said that he has had trouble fitting in with Joel Embiid. Last night after the Sixers got embarrassed, Paul George came out and said, it is a challenge, but we are getting there. I am working on it, and I'm trying to learn how to fit with Joel Embiid. And tonight, without Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, Paul George gave you absolutely nothing. And you know what's really freaking crazy is Joshua Harris took a drunk private jet at 4 a.m. to Los Angeles to go sign you. Dr. J was on that flight, and he took his damn socks off at your door, and he told you straight to your face that you were the missing piece. In a season where the Sixers were supposed to be title contenders, they are getting beat down by the tanking Brooklyn Nets. And I don't care what anybody says on a game, on a night where Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are out, and I'm sure we figured there would be some games this year where Paul George needs to step up without Joel Embiid. On those nights, you're being paid $53 million per season, and you muster up all of 2 points. You are an embarrassment. You are a disgrace. And the next 3 years that you are under contract on this team are going to be an absolute hell ride. They need to find a way to get into a loophole. They need to find a way to ban you from this team. Because what I just witnessed tonight, and it's not like it's new, I've seen it for the last 5 years with certain players, that was an I give up. That was not my pinky sore, my leg is sore. Look, I can take the injuries. I get it. We've seen a lot of injuries with this team. I can accept that. I can accept the team is not good and they need to tank. But what you just did was spit in all of our faces and say, hey, I don't care. 7 shot attempts, 2 points. Oh, well, we lost. I got paid tonight. $700,000. Crazy. Paul George needs to be arrested for theft after this game. You take any NBA star, you take any competent NBA player, and they can drop 2 points. Matter of fact, Quentin Grimes, with the game on the line, had 3 consecutive possessions, 2 where he scores, steals the ball off an inbound, and scores again. Quentin Grimes, in the span of 3 seconds, had more points than Paul George during the entire duration of this basketball game. Quentin Grimes, who was traded for Caleb Martin last week and is a developing prospect, had 30 points in this game tonight. Kelly Oubre had 30 points in this game tonight. Paul George had 2. What does that tell you about this guy who got a big payday and has essentially given up? That was one of the most embarrassing performances that I've ever seen. I mean, we can go back to several key performances from Ben Simmons that were embarrassing. We can go back to Tobias dropping nothing in a elimination game. 0 points. But that, Paul George, without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, when this team needed and relied on somebody to step up, you did nothing. That's my main takeaway in this game. I'm happy for Quentin Grimes. I'm happy for Kelly Oubre. I thought Jared Butler showed some flashes, even though he was 2 for 9. He had 9 assists. Jared Butler trying to find his way. How about Justin Edwards, who got benched? 13 points off the bench. Look, I know the Sixers are tanking now. The tank is officially on. You have lost 5 games in a row that have been absolutely pitiful and embarrassing. I'm not letting this team take me on the emotional roller coaster anymore. You're now 54 games into the season. It is time to shut Joel Embiid down. It is time to shut Paul George down. Matter of fact, maybe you should keep him active because the Sixers might have a better chance of losing with Paul George on the floor. That's how bad he is. Ricky Council played 4 minutes in this game. Adem Bona played 17 minutes. Yabusele looks all out of whack. You screwed up the young guys' momentum because you wanted to pay the older divas and you wanted to continue to put them out on the floor just because they're making top dollar. So again, I'm not even mad at this game. I am just disgusted with what I just witnessed. I think anybody out there listening to this show right now could have put up 2 points tonight. That was absolutely embarrassing. 0 free throws, by the way. 0 free throws, by the way. How do the Sixers continue to get stuck with these players? Look, I knew that Paul George would probably kind of wind his way out in the last couple years of that deal. We all knew that, right? The back end was brutal, but it was about optimizing the first 2 years, which is why when you come full circle on this plan of sitting Joel Embiid, 3/4 of the season, it makes no sense when you're trying to contend for a championship. But Joel Embiid's body has given up on him. Paul George can't muster up more than 2 points in a game against the Brooklyn Nets. Tyrese Maxey had 5 points yesterday. That was bad enough. Paul George comes out and spits in our face, man. The Sixers continue to recycle these same types of players. The new CBA doesn't want teams to pay 3 stars, and I'm ready for it to be done. I just want to know what Paul George is going to have to say after this game tonight. After last night blaming the fit with Joel Embiid, to tonight being out there, being looked at like the initiator, the guy who could go out there and do it all and drop 2 points. Now, again, 2 steals, 3 blocks, wonderful. I don't care. The Sixers lost this game because of Paul George's ineptitude and nonchalant attitude and just no care at all for the game tonight. Is the Tobias Harris contract worse than Paul George's contract? I don't know anymore. Paul George is on the books for the next 3 seasons. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I know the Sixers don't have a lot right now on this team. I know they're not healthy. 2 points, though. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I know, and people in the chat are saying that he's talking right now and that he says he's hurt. Yeah, he's just going to make another excuse. If you're out there, you're healthy enough to play. I really don't care. Joel Embiid plays through 5 different injuries every time he steps on the floor. So I don't want to hear about Paul George's pinky being injured or whatever else. Joel Embiid, every time he is out there, plays through 5 different injuries that could give him long-term health issues, and at least Joel Embiid can drop 20 points. Paul George couldn't even drop 4. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it. If you're injured, you shouldn't have been out there, man. I don't want to hear it. That was one of the most disgraceful performances that I've ever seen. Defer, no aggression. That was embarrassing. Nick Nurse's rotations are brutal. We know that. We've been saying that every game. No Eric Gordon, no Kyle Lowry. He still finds a way to deplete the roster. Andre Drummond comes off the bench, has 4 points and 8 rebounds, but man, I mean, now you're playing Drummond 15 minutes. Guy is playing in slow motion. Then you bring a Dembona in. There were times late in this game where, you're bringing Paul George in. He's slowing down the team. Then you play Edwards in the final lineup. Like, there's just no consistency. There's no, there's just no rhyme or reason to anything that Nick Nurse does. And I actually think he is trying to win the games. He's over there on the sideline. They showed him finally get up with 5 minutes to go in this game. And he's like huffing and puffing and he's stressing. And I feel bad for Nick Nurse, man. He didn't come here to coach these type of players. And he's over there stressing, and the Sixers can't even beat the Nets. This team is so bad. They are so bad. This is the season that you never want to come back to again, man. This season has just been an absolute just joint it's just been a recurring sequence of just misery. Misery. Then he plays Jeff Doughton Jr. for 15 minutes. Okay, Lowry, Maxey out, fine, but you don't play Ricky Council. Ricky Council and Dembona were 2 of the main factors that contributed to winning 5 out of 7 games. Ricky Council's in the doghouse now, and Dembona has lost all rhythm. Unbelievable, man. You got to find a way to get off this Paul George contract. You got to find a way to get off it, and you have to get off it now. Now. He is washed, man. He is washed. The contract was a mistake. Even if Joel Embiid was healthy, the way that Paul George is playing, that was just embarrassing. It was. So Nick Nurse has lost all sight of what to do. Paul George doesn't care. Joel Embiid's out every other game. Maxey's out. Injury. He got overplayed. Jared McCain was there on the bench. What? Now what, man? Now what? What else do we say? Incredible. Incredible how incompetent this team is. You think Philadelphia Eagles fans who just watched their team dominate the entire league and win a Super Bowl are coming over here to watch the Sixers for the rest of the year? No. It's time for heads to start turning, man, and it will happen. But I think right now the Sixers have the formula to keep losing. Like I said, now they're the 6th worst team, and they could actually end up getting that draft pick if they keep losing. So it's just inexplicable at this point. There's not much else for me to say other than just a colossal failure. A year where this team was supposed to be a title contender, and they're getting bullied by the tanking Nets. I mean, it's embarrassing. All right, man, if you guys want to call into the show, call in on the Discord. All right, I want to hear your thoughts on Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Sixers. Let's get some people to call in, man. If you want to call in, give us your thoughts. I mean, man, like I'm out of words. I'm out of words to describe this team. If you guys want to call in, man, join and join the call-in waiting room. Join the waiting room. Join the Discord. Go to the waiting room, and we'll bring you in. All right, we got a caller on the line. Before we get to that, got to let you guys know, once again, BetUS, use the code YouTube150. Go to betus.com. Get a 150% deposit match bonus on your first deposit. Sixers ended up being a 2-point underdog in this game, and I told you at the beginning, take the Brooklyn Nets. I feel more confident that they are the better roster tonight. You got guys like D'Angelo Russell dropping 22 and Trendon Watford dropping 18. It's just unbelievable. Cam Johnson didn't even play well. 16 points on 14 attempts, and they still beat you. The Brooklyn Nets roster, the rest of it, is better than the Sixers. And that is absolutely terrible. That is absolutely terrible, man. Shout out to BetUS. Use code YouTube150. Get a 150% deposit match bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. Nets get it done, 196. The Sixers are in no man's land. And we got to talk to the people, man. We got to talk to the people. All right, we're going to the phone lines, man. We got Santa 7 in the waiting room. Santa 7 on the Discord.
Arby, what is happening, buddy? This is JSJR, man. How we doing, my brother?
Could be doing better, man. But I have no emotion left at this point, so I guess I'm all right.
Yeah, man, this is, I don't even know where to start, brother. You covered a lot of it right now in your post-game analysis there. But, man, Arby, I've been a fan since 1979. So when you take a look at where we're at in 2025, you see the game has changed tremendously. The word tank was never a part of the vocabulary of players in the 80s and 90s. That seems to be a new term nowadays, brother, that with the word tank, you know, for one,
I just want to say, like,
tanking, then what they need to do is start reducing the number of games that we're playing. 82 is too much. Let's bring it down, you know, but obviously when money's involved and everything else, there's no way. But listen, I hope Maury's listening. Harris, you listening to me too? And the coaching staff, bring me on into that locker room. All right, bring me on into that locker room. Let's bring RB into that locker room too. And let's take care of business with this team, because the excuses that they're given, it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. And I'm a healthcare professional, so yes, I'm going to talk Embiid now. He most likely has a grade 3 or 4 arthritic condition of his knee. And the fact that 7 doctors have had to look at him, I'm a little befuddled about that. But also, they're not completely letting the whole story out. They're not letting us know what's going on. They're not bringing the truth out. We're supposed to be a family, right? They're not letting the family, the Sixers base, the Philadelphia base, know truly what's going on. It's always hidden. It's always behind the scenes. He's most likely has a grade 3 or 4 issue going on in that knee, which is going to need to most likely have surgery. You got to shut him down. There's no doubt about it. Stop bringing him in for 2 to 3 games. When Paul George and him weren't playing, they were taking care of business. They won 4 or 5 in a row. Now they've lost about 5 in a row. So we see that they have no consistency. They're not able to come together as a team. And it truly is crazy to see what's going on out there. Same with Paul George. You got to shut him down. You said it. I think most likely you got to move him. You got to get rid of his contract. And I think it's time, as hard as it is to say, Embiid's got to go. He's got to go. You got to let these younger guys try to take care of business, but something has to happen with Maury and Harris, because they need to get after what's going on here for sure.
I agree. And to your point about Embiid and Paul George, though, it's like you got a good young core now that you can build with, but I mean, you can't even move off the Embiid and Paul George contracts. They are so bad. Paul George tied up through 2028. Joel Embiid tied up through 2029. We are looking at a couple more years of them trying to sell the fan base on this. And that's why Daryl Morey came out last Friday and said that, you know, we still have hope and we can win the championship and the Cavs don't want to play us. But at the end of the day, you're right. Sixer fans are way too smart for this crap. And man, it's embarrassing. It is.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, RB. We're way too smart for it. You don't have to be in the medical profession to see what's going on, And like I said, I am a medical professional, so I deal with a lot of injuries, especially post-op knees and that sort of thing. And I know exactly what's going on with MB. They should be bringing me in and helping to analyze what's going on and bring treatment to this guy. I can't get over. You need 7 men, doctors, nonetheless, to try to figure out what's going on with him. Is asinine. It's awful, and it's not deserving to the Philadelphia fan base.
So you're a medical professional.
We don't deserve it, man. We're spending hard-earned money, paying $100 for a hot dog, $20 for a soda, and $300 for a popcorn. It's ridiculous.
I agree. So based on your opinion, then obviously you haven't looked at Joel Embiid, but like, is this something he can even come back from? Because you think about all the injuries this guy is stacked up at this point. I'm starting to think like he just might be done. Like his body might be completely just, past the point of return.
I agree, RB. It's hard to say that because he does fight. He reminds me of Iverson. Iverson back in the day, though, he played through everything. All the injuries he went through, and he still continued to come out and keep, worrying out there. But Embiid, the fact that he's as tall as he is, the taller these guys get, man, the life expectancy playing really is reduced. And he also already went through a lot. His first 2 years, he didn't even play because of the foot injury. And we're seeing signs of that. But when you start getting these consistent knee injuries and everything else he's going through, it is hard to bounce back from it. I do not see him ever making it through an entire season again without an injury. And the fact of the matter is, we're seeing the writing on the wall with his situation. But the organization needs to come out and start being truthful. That's the one thing about Sixers. They're always hidden behind the scenes. They're not letting us as the fan base, who's deserving to know, who pays their paychecks. I think they need to start getting to also performance-based income. Stop giving all these multi-million-dollar contracts. You earn what you play for, and that's the way it should be. And they need to start having more incentivized payment instead of guaranteed contracts with millions and millions of dollars. So that's my thoughts about it. Bring us in. Adam Silver's to blame for some of this too.
Yeah, well, JS, good stuff, man. I agree 1,000% with you. And I think with more injuries now in the NBA, like, we're just going to have this convo more and more and more. Like, none of the top stars even play the whole season anymore. So it's just a watered down product at this point.
It is. It's gone, and the 3-point shot has become the norm, and I can't stand that either. But it is what it is nowadays. Back in the 80s and 90s, the average 3-point shots were about 15 a game. Now it's like 45 a game. It's become ridiculous.
Yep, brutal, man. JS, good stuff,
you,
man.
RB. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out to JS on the Discord. That's a great call. Yeah, he's right, man. This is now out of hand. I think the Sixers thought that they were going to be able to like withstand this situation and just kind of manage it throughout the year, right? Kind of like have us teeter on the line, like, all right, we'll reel you back in a little bit, and then we'll cast the line, then we'll reel you in, then we'll cast the line. Well, there's no more of that. I mean, we can see exactly what is going on. We can see exactly what's going on. And I just, like I said, I can't say anything else about the injuries. I feel bad for Joe. The guy's fought. He's battled through. But what I cannot stand is Paul George playing 37 minutes of basketball and not trying to attack the rim. That is just out of hand. That is just absolutely disgraceful. And we are now going through this again with another player. We're now going through this again with another player. Can't take it. What else can we talk about in this game? I mean, Sixers get out rebounded again, 50-38. I mean, I say it every game. Like, don't we get tired of hearing it every game? Don't you get tired of hearing me say it? Rebounds. I said it at the beginning of the season. I said it back in August. You need more rebounding. They don't address it. They get older and slower. They don't get any rebounders. Man, you are approaching a dark time here in Philadelphia 76ers history. You tanked. You got all the draft picks in the world. You went through the process. You told us you were tanking. You got penalized. You tried to draft a bunch of players. And then with all of those players, you did nothing. A lot of wasted picks. I think JS is right. I think you need new ownership. But the only way to get an owner to sell the team is by, I don't want to say public execution, but you need a lot of pressure from the fan base, or your sales, your revenues need to drop tremendously to the point where you don't see a way that you can make money on it anymore as a business. And at that point, you may figure a way to get out of it and sell the business. And we know that Joshua Harris is not really that focused on winning. He is focused on the business aspect. And he's just going to sit there and try to make as much money and squeeze as much out as he can. So while I appreciate everybody being here in the comment section, watching the games with me, tapping in, I think the people that have the sentiment of, well, stop going to the games, stop paying $20 for a hot dog, I think those people are right. I can't lie to you. I always tell the truth from how I see it. I always give you the realistic opinion that I have. And stop investing into this team. Once you hurt the bottom line, that's where potentially change could come across. But I think a lot of Sixer fans, even like people that are in the comments every game, they're dropping slowly but surely. Again, we can take a bad season, but what we can't take is people lying. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Don Boyle in the chat says Oubre and Grimes were fighting out there. PG was being a pansy. Yeah, Quentin Grimes, I haven't even really talked about the game, but at the end there, the Sixers collapse it from a 14-point game down to a 4-point game. Quentin Grimes gets a bucket, steals it away. Quentin Grimes was playing so good at the end of this game that I thought Nick Nurse might bench him. It's hard for me to believe that Nick Nurse, a former champion, does not know how to run rotations with these young guys, but either he has been instructed to tank or he has literally just exhausted all of his effort and he's just lost it. Maybe he's just lost it. I don't know. But what I do know is that Quentin Grimes, who drops 30 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block, played his tail off. You want a positive thing? You want a silver lining? Quentin Grimes is a player, man. Catch and shoot, ability to defend guards, defend the perimeter. Quentin Grimes looks like a player, man. He's good. Justin Edwards, 13, 5, and 3. 3 steals. Justin Edwards, man. You give these guys opportunity, they make something of it. You give Paul George $50 million, he goes out there and drops 2 points. It's unbelievable. Unreal. Yeah, man, I don't know what else to say about this game. It's very just diminishing, and I don't know how Sixer fans can stay engaged. I just can't believe the fact that Daryl Morey and Josh Harris the other day said, we feel like we're going to make a playoff run now. You're not talking to some fan base out, in the middle of the country. You're not talking to some fan base that isn't paying attention. You're talking to the smartest fans in the world. It's actually insane. My question is, when do heads start to turn? When do heads start to turn? Do they wait to the end of the season? Are they playing bad enough? Are they playing bad enough to keep the ownership intact? Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, all these guys? Maybe they want to lose now. But the question is, why'd you go out there and win 20 games? Could have had the top 3 pick. Like I said, though, outside of the Paul George stuff tonight, I have a hard time caring about this game. You've now lost 5 in a row. The Pistons, actually, no, take it back. The Miami Heat, without Jimmy Butler, game you should have won. Nick Nurse mismanaged the rotations down the end. You lost to the Detroit Pistons, down Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. You lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, down Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then last night you lost to the Raptors down Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl. And tonight you lose to the tanking Nets. Your team is just not that good. Simple. Simple. Team's not good. Team is not good. Jane in the chat says, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Beer fest. Shadesy says, I mean, that could be very possible. I would have lost it too. He looks like he has lost it in the press conferences. I mean, maybe he's just at a point where he's like, damn, what else do I have to do, man? Try my best out here. I don't know, man. The boos are going to rain. The Sixers are going to really feel this, man. They have to. Something has to change. Abu says tank, and more tank. Top Shot says based on PG's earnings tonight, those 2 points cost $243,000 each. Disgusting. By the way, Top Shot, thank you for the super chat last night. I gave you a shout out earlier in the show. I'm sorry I didn't read your comment last night. I was in full rant mode, and I ended the stream without looking back at the chat, so I apologize for that. Speaking of which, Top Shot just gifted a Philly Take membership. Thank you so much. Thank you for gifting a membership, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the members, everybody that stays tapped in with me here, man. Like I said, our channel, our brand isn't solely dependent on the success of the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, it's way better when they're doing well. And you know, you just feel the city right now and the buzz around the Eagles. Like, if the Sixers could ever get to that point, would our channel skyrocket? Sure. Sure. Everything helps, you know, following us on all our platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you know, becoming a channel member, gifting a membership, copping some merch, whatever. It all helps grow the brand. And this, by far, is the toughest season ever trying to talk about this team. Like, what else am I supposed to say? What else am I supposed to sit here and say? It's embarrassing. It is brutal. It is pathetic. I'm ready to see the young guys unleash. I'm ready to see the young guys be fully let go into the wilderness. I don't want to watch Joel Embiid the rest of the season. I don't want to watch Paul George. I don't. Anyway, man, that's where I'm at. Not much else I can say. Not much else I can say. But the Sixers are teetering on the precipice of irrelevance. And based on where we sit right now, I mean, you just played game number 54, so you got, 28 games left. Now we're at the All-Star break, so the team will be off for a week. Do you think Sixer fans are really going to come out here next week and be like, man, I'm excited to watch the Sixers? I don't even know who they play next. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. They've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 7 out of 8. Oh, great. They play the Boston Celtics. Great. Come out of the All-Star break. You got a nice matchup on TNT against the Boston Celtics. Then you got the Brooklyn Nets again. Can't even beat them. Chicago probably can beat them. Maybe. Then you're in New York in the Garden. Then you got Golden State, Portland, Minnesota, Boston, Utah. I guess my final question, I want to know what you guys think out there in the comments. Drop a comment right now. Let me know what you think. Will the Sixers shut Joel Embiid down for the season after tonight's game? During this All-Star break, will the Sixers shut down Joel Embiid? Do I think they should? Yes. Do I think they will? Nope. Because once again, goes back to the bottom line. They want you to keep going to the games. They want you to be there. They don't want to give up a last third of the season. So do I think they're going to do it? No. but should they? Absolutely. Paul George might be out with an injury for 10 games after this one. Joel Embiid will come back. Still can't play back-to-backs, by the way. And I did echo this sentiment last night on the postgame show, and I do want to re-echo it here because I think it's relevant. At some point, we have to start looking at the medical staff. At some point, we have to start looking at the doctors that are treating these players, because Joel Embiid got a knee surgery, and sure, he came back early, but for his knee not to be recovered by now, and Ramona Shelburne reported that there are high frustrations across the organization and everybody, with Joel included, that his knee won't get healthy. Andre Drummond had a toe sprain for half the season. Kyle Lowry has a hip injury that won't get better, according to Nick Nurse. Quote, won't get better. Eric Gordon's out with a wrist. Tyrese Maxey's hurt. Yabu was hurt. Last year, Robert Covington, I'll never forget the quote from Nick Nurse saying that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. How many times do we have to go through these injuries before we take a look at the medical professionals that are treating these players? Now, again, I'm not a medical doctor. I know some people in the comments will say, hey, RB, why are you talking? You're not a medical doctor. What's your background? I'm not claiming to be a medical doctor. I'm just saying the people that are treating these players, that are trying to get them back to normal, that are trying to keep them in the best shape possible. And maybe this is a league-wide issue, right? So many players hurt across the NBA this season. Gets worse every year. But, I mean, someone has to take blame for this, right? It's terrible. Terrible. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. And when we talk about Daryl Morey, you know, I've defended him for a while. I have obviously expressed frustrations with Daryl Morey. But the fact, and if it was Morey's call, or if it was Elton Brand's call, or Josh Harris, I don't know who it was. But whoever consulted with 7 doctors and then gave Joel Embiid that extension has to be gone. I'm not a guy that's going to try to sit up here and call for jobs. I don't want to do that. But when you're in those positions of power, when you're in those positions of management, and you make a big call like that, a decision that could affect the next several years of everything. I said it before the season began. Whoever made that decision is going to be in some deep doo-doo. And I just think, man, that is an organization killer. It's not even like we can look at, hey, at the end of the year, you know, we can reset here. You have 2 contracts that are going to plague this team unless they find a way out of it. Unreal. Top Shot says, remember how they let him play in that Nuggets game? There you go, right? There's a perfect example last year. Media scrutiny at its highest. Joel Embiid plays in the Nuggets game and gets hurt. Obviously wasn't healthy. They forced him into playing, but the medical staff cleared him to play. Dom says, I wouldn't even care if PG goes out with injury. I do not get any satisfaction or enjoyment out of watching him play. Look, guys, I'm trying my best here to continue to break this stuff down. I appreciate everybody out there, still hundreds of people listening in, but it's hard for me to continue saying the same things. So that's what happened tonight. I'm frustrated with how Paul George approached this game, and the Sixers lose again. The only bright spot was Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, and the fact that the Sixers are now in the top 6, technically, tied with the Nets. So we'll see what happens, man. This postgame show is brought to you by RocketMoney. Shout out to RocketMoney. Shout out to BetUS and National University. No more games for a week. Get to hit the reset button. We'll drop some videos. We'll do some things. No Sixers All-Stars this year. That's a difference. I'll watch the dunk contest. Shout out to Mac McClung. I'll watch the 3-point contest. Am I watching the All-Star game? Probably not. That has gotten worse over the years as well. Top Shot, thank you for gifting a membership, man. Much love, man. Thank you so much. Guys and gals, support us on all platforms, man. Tap in with me, Twitter, Instagram, all that. If you're going to the Eagles parade on Friday, I'll catch you there. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sixers go down 100-96. They're 20-34. Enjoy the break. Peace.